Hello and welcome to the Fatpants Podcast. Better enrobed in chocolate, you know I'm Pants.
And I'm Slacky, here to remind you to always make sure you separate your chocolate and your fruit-flavored candies.
What lies ahead is the final battleground for all food disputes, big and small. No matter the state, the culture, or the country, there's one thing that everyone understands, and that is Fat Pants. All right, Slacky, today I have, for everyone's listening enjoyment, I've recruited a special guest to join us on our candy tier list extravaganza.
They're bound to be better than the both of us.
Oh, absolutely. The only consistent thing that we have here on this podcast is that every guest we have is exponentially superior to us. So, Slacky, and those of you listening, I present to you the one and only Mr. King.
Thank you.
Clap, 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 clap.
I don't have a clapping soundboard, so everyone just clap. Just
insert
clap.
one later. Insert one later.
I don't want to do that.
Clap with one hand.
I don't want to do
Magic
that.
of editing.
I'm not editing a clap in. I'm not going to remember this.
Oh.
But anyway, King, welcome to the Fat Pants Podcast, and I hope you have fun.
Glad to be here. We're gonna have fun today.
You're like our fifth guest, something like that.
Ooh.
And
Have you been doing a side podcast?
no,
We've
this is
had
the fourth
two-
guest. We had the lovely Eladio. We had the even more
True.
lovely Llama. We had Trill
True.
join us for a very
Mhm.
make or break situation, and now we have King.
Shout out Whataburger Trail.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, so
Good
let's
to have you, King. Good to have you, King.
Glad to be here.
let's dive in. We have a lot to cover today, and I don't want this to be a 2-hour episode again. To set the standard, we're going to be operating on a very simple S through F tier list. S being the best, and then descending down order A, B, C, D, and then F. F is going to be all our throwaways. Don't want them. Don't want to see them. Don't want them near me. If they go in my candy bucket, I'm throwing a fit. S is the inverse. If I see them out and about, I might knock a kid over and take theirs.
Mm.
That's what I was doing with mine too.
Yeah, I feel like S tier is like the first candy that goes. Like that's
Oh,
the one
yeah.
you're gonna grab. It's usually the one that I grab from my kid's bucket while we're trick or treating.
Yeah, those are
yeah.
those are.
I'm gonna eat that
so,
one right now.
so Slacky,
I
you
put
have
Hatsons for stolen on mine. Sorry.
that's correct. Slacky, you have the ultimate power. The only instance where you are in like a state of infinite force is that
True.
you get the luxury of quality checking all of the candy, aka first dibs on all of your
Yes.
kiddos' candy.
True. Yes, we have some.
Hazard.
We'll go over rules and regulations when it comes to divvying out the kids' Halloween candy. Maybe
Mhm.
on a separate tangent later on. There are some regulations that you need to follow.
Oh yeah,
But yes,
I wanna go over some general Halloween etiquette
yes.
after we get through this tier list. So let's dive into this, shall we?
Yeah. Let's
so
do it.
Yes.
starting off very strong, right out of the gate, Snickers. Where do you gentlemen rate the one and only Snickers bar?
Yeah, Snickers S tier. It is like the quintessential candy bar to me. And it could be like bias on my part. It's the candy bar that I think I remember having first
Mhm.
because it's what I think like all candy bars try to be. I don't know if that's the historically accurate way to think of it, but to me, it feels like all candy bars sort of originate around Snickers.
Okay.
I would agree with that. I think Snickers is probably like if we were doing this on a bracket style system, which
Don't say
I'm
that
sure
word.
Pants is
Don't say the word.
cringing. Pants dies of cringe. Snickers would be the one seed for sure. I think
Mhm.
it's a Hershey brand bar. I think it's their bread and butter. And the thing I would say about Snickers, I should probably give my rating first. I'm gonna give Snickers an A and not an S. It's good. The one thing that drives me the craziest about it is the marketing is solid. I don't know if you
Yes.
remember the commercials with the you're not you, when you're hungry. Those are some of the best. Those are some of the best marketing out there. But the one thing that always drives me crazy about Snickers is just because you put peanuts in it doesn't mean you can like consider it to be like a meal, which is kind of how I'm
What?
well, it's like the idea of like, hey,
Huh?
you're hungry, eat a Snickers.
Yeah.
And it's because it's got all this crap in it. It's
No.
like the most filling candy bar.
No. I
Is
don't
it
think
the
that's the
most?
marketing, my guy. I
I
think
think
I
it
don't,
is.
I
yeah.
think it's just like, hey, you need a little pick me up because you're grouchy,
Mhm.
probably because you have
Mhm.
low blood sugar. Maybe eat
True.
this bar of sugar with peanuts in it, which also have sugar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
my
last thing I'm
that's my take.
but the last thing I'm giving my kid when he's hungry is a Snickers bar. I'm gonna be like, it's because you didn't eat your lunch,
Well,
kid.
yeah,
That's why you're hungry.
that's because
I'm not
you're a
gonna reward you
responsible
with a
adult.
candy bar. True.
Right.
Snickers is an A for me.
I can agree. And my counterpoint to it being an S tier because it's the candy bar that like it's the OG candy bar is that just because it's like the big one doesn't mean it's inherently S tier. Look at McDonald's. McDonald's is like the most infamous fast food chain. It's a shit fast food chain.
Yeah.
Like Snickers, like globally recognizable. The font, the packaging, the commercials, etc. Like most people could guess the brand from the commercial, from a slogan, from even the like the font and like color. But it's just an okay candy bar. So I think A is correct. I think getting a Snickers, like a little bite-sized one, I'm excited to pull that out of my candy bag.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if it's that or another candy, I'm gonna probably pick the other one. To put it in like pizza terms, a Snickers bar is a plain cheese slice. It's a good neutral.
Yeah. One of the things that always strikes me about Snickers, especially like, visualizing a kid's Halloween bucket of candy or
Mhm.
bag or whatever you have, is how many different sizes and shapes of Snickers you get. From the full size Snickers to the fun size to the bite size to the kind of bite size. I don't know. There's like they package these things in a million different ways. And I think it's just because like we mentioned it's their flagship candy
Sure.
bar and they're trying to get it out in as many ways as possible.
Yeah, I think you're spot on.
Yeah, that's fair. And I don't have a problem with like it being an A. It just for me it's S. It's a winning combination. And that's a really good point about the like advertising.
Mhm.
I don't mind all people putting it in A. That's a good
I will
there's yeah.
say it is a high A.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do really well with their marketing. We mentioned
Sure.
this with the fast food stuff. If your marketing or your social media, like Wendy's for instance, is
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
point, then you're gonna get a little extra bonus points from me.
100%. All right, so after getting brutally yelled at, we have a last minute entry to this tier
Let's
list.
go.
Even though we're only on one, we've gotten one done, and I've been brutalized off recording.
5 minutes in, we're bullying pants already.
Oh yeah.
So let's discuss the wonderful last minute entry that is the Heath bar. For me personally, probably a low S, high A.
Cool. So it's probably an S tier for me. It's one of my favorite candy bars. It's one of those. It's and everyone like my wife knows this too. Like when she and the kiddo stop at the Sev, she'll usually grab one for me because she knows it's the safe, candy bar that I know that I'm gonna love and be like, oh sweet, thanks. And you mentioned the Heath bar. There's also the Hershey Score bar too.
I don't know what that
SCOR, I
is.
believe, or SKOR.
Oh, maybe
It's
I do
it's
know what that is.
it's the same concept as the Heath bar, but I think it's the Hershey
Oh, it's
brand.
just Hershey's
Whereas
brand.
I think Heath is the Nestle brand, if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken. But yeah, for me, it's a total S tier. Also, shout out to the Dairy Queen Heath bar Blizzard, top tier Blizzard, in my opinion.
That sounds pretty good. I'm comfortable putting Heath at S, but King, where do you sit?
I personally am not a toffee fan.
Toffee
So
hater.
Get
yeah,
him off the
yeah.
pod.
I'm kicked
Damn.
off now.
Damn.
Gonna be
Already
contentious.
removed. Unfortunate.
No longer your favorite guest.
Do not read the terms and conditions where you have to agree to everything Pants and I say, King. Come on.
You have to agree with at
Mhm.
least one of us. So it's either going to be S or A.
Nah, sorry, King. Give us
So-
your rating. Give us
No,
your
yeah,
rating.
you can.
So I did a tier list a little bit ago. I put Heath like in kind of my D tier because
Wow.
it makes it to me. It makes a better ingredient. I do think the Heath Blizzards are good. but it makes a better ingredient than like an actual bar. I hate toffee because it sticks to my teeth and it's hard, and that's a sensory thing.
Mhm.
But
I can appreciate that. It does have a little bit of stickiness, like when you start chewing on it, and it can get kind of hard. It's like the substance that's also hard and sticky at the same time.
Ayo.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
So I can understand that, but I love the toffee, the butterscotch. I love that flavor. It's one of my favorites. Like if I were to choose that or caramel, I'd probably go with toffee over caramel in that particular situation.
yeah, if I was to have it, like if we were talking about like blizzards or something,
Mhm.
I would put that on actually on the higher end, because I do, the Heath blizzards are good. I agree with that, but I just can't do it as a candy bar.
Wait, so where are we putting this? So we have S, we have
With
low
S
S,
and a
and
S
a
S
D.
D.
So could you concede with an A? Because two
He
S's.
put it at,
Oh,
he put it at D, and you're trying to raise him to A?
Yeah, because it's
I
two S's versus one D.
I didn't know we were averaging these.
Yeah,
Right?
that's loosely where we're going.
I'm okay. I'm okay if we put it at a B, Pants. I won't be
B?
offended.
Yeah,
I won't be offended.
Goodbye,
I can
Heath.
do B.
There goes our
I can
Heath
do B.
sponsorship.
Yep.
It's all right.
Hank's not losing any sleep over this.
That's fine. We have
No.
better sponsorships on the way. Moving on, probably favorite of basically everybody. We have the iconic Reese's cup.
Unquestionably.
I think if it would be criminal to not put this in S.
Uh-huh.
Like I could argue making a separate category above S and putting it there, but that feels a little unjust. But
For the purposes of this, S is fine. I put it above S. I put it in its own tier. It's perfect to me.
I'm gonna pass the baton on this particular candy bar from my ranking system to my wife's ranking system, and
which is yours?
She's gonna put it up there with y'all in its own category above everything. I would put Reese's as an A. I like Reese's, but not as much as everyone else apparently does.
Are you a
Um,
peanut butter guy generally?
not not really.
Maybe
I'm more
that's
of a
why.
peanut. I'm more of a peanut butter and jelly guy. I don't like peanut butter on its own. I like it with something. And yes, of course, Reese's is peanut butter and chocolate, which is really good. I don't think I put it up as high as everyone else does. It's good, mind you, and I can see why everyone loves it. And also shout out to the holiday Reese's that has more peanut butter
The
than
egg
the
is the best
traditional
one.
cups. The egg is the
egg.
best, and the egg
That's a
is the
good one.
best, then the pumpkin,
Yep.
then the tree.
Yep, 100%.
The Christmas tree. But you're right. I think wifey would agree. The egg is number one, and the pumpkin is number two.
Yeah.
And she will be looking forward to her Reese's pumpkins this holiday.
It's the ratio of peanut butter to chocolate makes the egg the perfect holiday Reese's. A standard Reese's cup
Mhm.
is always going to be good. I'm not crazy that they've been trying to like, whoa, make it crazy. And like, whoa, we put potato chips in this one. It's like, stop.
They put
Oh, those, yeah.
well, the ones they put the Reese's pieces in, they're okay.
They're okay
They're not as like hyped as I thought they'd be, honestly.
because they're not that great.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's because I think it's like when you take a product that's really good on its own
Mhm.
and then you try to mess with it, and the only thing you could probably do to make it better is just put more peanut butter in it. you
Yeah,
know?
which is why the
And then
egg
they
is
have-
the best one.
And they have
It's
the
just
big,
more
they
peanut
have
butter.
they have the big cups, like the
Yeah.
big cups with
Mhm.
more peanut butter, but they also put more chocolate in it too, so the ratio pretty much stays the same as
Yeah.
a normal peanut butter cup. But Pants is right. The egg, the pumpkin, the trees, they have more peanut butter than
But a
the
similar
chocolate.
amount. I think that's what
Yeah.
makes them superior. But
Yeah.
instead of me talking about how much I love Reese's for 40 minutes, let's move on. So we're all agreed it's an
Yeah,
S.
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
Well,
Blended.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Well, you by proxy.
True.
So this
Yeah,
one. So our tier list is pretty top heavy right now. Let's find one that maybe goes towards the bottom somewhere in the form of the Milky Way. Where like for me, Milky Way is like like a D, I think.
Mm.
I think Milky Way is kind of a throwaway, even like half of a little one, and I'm kind of like over it. What do you guys think?
I'm ashamed, Pants. I'm ashamed. Milky Way is an A. It's an A for me.
An
It
A.
is it is the Snickers without the peanuts, and you know how much I don't
Yes.
like peanuts.
Yeah, but I need the texture. I need the crunch.
Give me no. You can keep your stupid crunch.
You're just
Give
chewing.
me
You're
the
just
candy.
chewing on squish.
I'm
like, it's
chewing on
just-
chocolate and caramel and nougat, and it's good.
Which
It's just not. It's not good.
It's good.
I don't
No.
wholly
Milky
agree.
Milky Way is one of my go-to. Like if I see it in the kiddos Halloween basket, I'm grabbing it. I love Milky
you can
Way.
have
It's an
all of
A for
mine.
me.
You can have all of
It's an-
mine.
I will
King-
take that nonsense. It's an A.
Show us the way. Where do you put Milky Way?
like the lowest of S tier.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Oh no. I'm not inviting anyone else to this podcast. Everyone I
Let's
invite
go.
goes against me. Ah,
I know.
okay.
Oh, there's some on here you're gonna really hate me, dude.
I saw your list.
Yeah.
let's hear him explain his S tier. Let's
All right.
go.
It's the lowest of S tier for the reason that Slacky stated. It's Snickers without the peanuts.
Would you both concede with an A?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said
Because-
I said A. I said
Yeah.
Because so like even like me saying D,
Mhm.
a high D, low C. I don't like Milky Way because it's just squishy. There's no texture to it. You bite it and it's just like like it's not. There's nothing to it.
I can see where you're going with that. I really do. It's just I mentioned this before. I like caramel.
Yeah.
And to me, Milky Way is just it's good. It's a good product. I almost prefer it to Snickers, honestly.
All right, let's not go crazy.
Let's move on.
All right, so the next one on the list is Three Musketeers. Goes into also D for me for the exact same reason. It's just you're just biting into squishy nothing.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and agree with Pants.
Let's
Three
fucking
Musketeers
go.
is a D. It's garbage. It is, in my opinion, the diet candy bar. Because I feel like that's how it was marketed. Like in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was heavily marketed towards you want a candy bar, but don't want 1,000 calories, then have a Three Musketeers. And I'm like, you just took away all the flavor too, didn't you? The chocolate is bad. Whatever that stuff on the inside is just it's garbage.
It's just nougat.
Isn't it? It's a bad. No, I don't think it's nougat.
Yeah,
It's like air puffed nougat.
It's,
It's like air
creamy
puffed nougat.
creamy
Like
nougat.
It's diet creamy nougat because it's gross. You know, I don't like it. If I could go even lower,
You can. We have an F tier.
I know. I don't want to put any kind of candy bar in an F tier because I don't think candy deserves to be in an F tier.
No,
The
there's
Three
bad
Musketeers
candy.
are
There's
close.
bad candy.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I don't think Three Musketeers is an F. I think it's a D minus. I'll give it a D minus.
Yeah, I can agree with that. King, where do you sit? If you come in and tell me that you have this in an A, I'm ending the podcast.
I almost wanted to spite do that, but no, I'm not that driven by it. Because Musketeers, I put it as mid. It's C. It's mid, the middest of mid.
Yeah.
A little bit higher than you guys did, but like I don't necessarily disagree with your reasoning for putting it where it was. Because when I was a kid, I actually really liked Musketeers because I used to hate peanuts and candy
Sure.
bars, and it was like one of the options other than Milky Way that was just like, oh cool, I'll bite into the squish. I like the squish.
That's fair.
As I've gotten older, I've kind of wanted more flavor out of
Mhm.
what I eat, more complexity to it, and Musketeers is just it's aging badly to me.
Yeah.
So it's almost like biting into a marshmallow in the middle. I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah, I would
would
rather eat
prefer
marshmallow though. Like I would rather have actual marshmallow.
C tier for the reasons I stated. It's just there's not much you can say about it.
Okay. So we're gonna round it down to a D because we had
D
two
is fine,
very
yeah.
close to Fs and one C. We can balance with like a mid-high D.
Yep.
Yeah, D is fine.
All right. Now that we've thoroughly murdered a candy bar, let's go. Let's just take on another icon in the chocolate world. The ever popular M&Ms, and I want to include all varieties minus like one that we'll get to shortly.
Okay.
So this is going to include like M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, the crunchy ones, the peanut butter ones, which are different from Reese's Pieces. For me, I think they are like a low B because they're good, but they're okay. Like as far as Halloween candy goes, they're like the last thing in my bag.
I think we can all agree that peanut M&Ms is probably the superior M&M.
100%.
Just based on texture, based on like, you have the chocolate and you have the peanut. Regular M&Ms to me are better as a topping on something than they are by themselves.
I can agree with that.
Whether it's if you're putting M&Ms in a cookie, or you're topping it in ice cream or a blizzard, or some kind of an ice cream treat.
So what I'm hearing
Very,
is that we
very,
need an M&M
very
Heath Blizzard.
basically.
Uh,
But M&Ms is kind of like an add-on to me,
Okay.
versus them kind of being on their own. They're okay on their own, but I would rather see M&Ms added with something instead of just
Sure.
on their own.
yeah. Where did you put M&Ms at?
So I put M&Ms, I would put them at B. I would be okay putting them in C.
I think I'm going to go with C, just because on their own, I think they're a C. As a topping on top of something else, I mean, I could probably raise the letter up a little bit, but that's not what we're talking about.
Sure.
This is an on your own candy kind of thing. So, peanut M&Ms are a C plus. All the other M&Ms are a C minus.
If we're talking about, like, first of all, I'm the contrarian, and I prefer the regular M&Ms to the peanut ones,
All right.
which it's not that much of a difference. I put regular M&Ms at because when I did my list, I didn't have a B tier.
Yeah,
I had like an A and a C tier essentially. I would put them as a B tier.
Okay. Would they be like one of the first candies you reach for though?
No.
And that's why in my head, that's what makes them a C instead of a B. Is that
All right.
yeah, they're good to get, but I'm not gonna I'm not digging through the bag to get them. And I also our next contestant, if you gentlemen look at your list, I'm gonna skip one. I didn't mean to put this one between the two, but I'm gonna skip one, and it's the reason that regular M&Ms sit at C for me, and it's because our next contestant are mini M&Ms. And I'm not going to go through all the varieties individually, but mini M&Ms are a special breed of M&M because they offer so much more. They are fun to eat. They are fun to make a lot of noise and piss people off with. They are easy to store because they come in their terrible test tube. And coming back to them being fun to eat, if you don't open the lid with your thumb and like flick it open like it's a Zippo lighter as a young kid, and then shoot the whole thing of mini M&Ms in one go, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, true.
So like mini M&Ms for me are a B because they have all the good things, like all the fun aspects of like other candies, but they're still M&Ms. Like just makes them better.
Yeah, mini M&Ms are good. I could agree with you that they would probably be higher than regular M&Ms. I think they have a different flavor profile, I guess you could say, when it comes to the chocolate. They taste different. They have a different taste to it.
Sure.
They're good. The one thing I love about mini M&Ms is they come in the tube, and you can just toss back the tube and eat about 600 of them at one time, which I feel is kind of fun.
It's a
versus
power
like
play.
regular M&Ms. Yeah,
it's like like a handful of regular M&Ms is like, I don't know, 6, 5 maybe. 4 or 3 if they're peanut M&Ms because you don't want to choke and die.
True.
The M&Ms, the minis in their little test tube, if you're not eating them by the 1,000, you're not eating them correctly.
Yep.
M&M minis also a better topping than regular M&Ms. I'll say it because you get more candy crunch and like the essence of chocolate is nearby, but you get way more. And if you're at like your favorite frozen yogurt place, they weigh less. You save yourself some shmoney's.
And you stole my point.
Sorry.
You stole my point, but yeah, I agree. In fact, because I put M&Ms in like the regular M&Ms in like the B tier, I feel like I have to put minis above. They're above regular M&Ms, so I have to put them at like a low A tier.
Yeah,
I love minis.
I think we're all kind of in the same general boat that mini M&Ms are better. But let's move forward because I don't want to think about M&Ms for the rest of the day and be hungry. Maybe a sleeper pick for some people. Fun Dip. For those of you who don't know what Fun Dip is, it's basically a compressed stick of sugar that you lick and then dip into a bag of loose granular sugar, and that's all it is. It's just sugar dipped in sugar. And as a child that loves sugar, there's no single better thing to get than it hits all the marks. It's sugar. It's fruit flavored sugar. It's an interactive sugar eating experience. If someone is coming at you with a knife, you can just throw the whole thing of Fun Dip in their face like a deterrent.
Pocket sand.
It's pocket sand. It's pocket dip.
Pocket sand. Sour pocket sand.
It's got fun in the name. It's fun to say. It's fun to eat. It's an all-around S tier candy for me.
Wow. If I was 10 years old, I would agree with you.
And that's what I'm basing this off of. I don't eat that much candy now. I'm not a big candy person as a grown person. So a lot of these judgments are being based off of like what kid me would want and think.
True.
I'm willing to hear you out for arguments other than S.
My kiddo has recently discovered Fun Dip as a couple of months ago, and when the first time he had it, he made the unfortunate decision to eat the stick before
No.
finishing
no.
the actual dip, and I had to explain to him how the whole thing works, and then he kind of like the light bulb went off in his head. You know? But recently he has been enjoying the Fun Dip. He really likes it. He enjoys the blue flavor over the red flavor.
I'm a blue guy myself. Yeah.
I think a lot of people would agree that the blue is probably better than the red. Wifey's huge fan of Fun Dip. I, on the other hand, I just think it's glorified Kool-Aid powder with a stick.
Pretty much.
I'm going to give it a C because it's more of a thing to do with your candy. It takes time. It's to see how long you can make the stick last before all the dip goes away. That kind of thing. It's the concept is kind of lost on me, so I would just give it a C, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Slacky. I'm also putting it at C tier because everyone I know like hyped up Fun Dip on an objective there's like on an objective level, and then there's like on a self preference level.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets so excited for Fun Dip, but like I don't know. I think it's like I don't like chalk candy.
Okay.
And that stick has like that chalky. It's like that sugary chalky thing. I don't.
Yeah. It's got like a very
supposed to be
candy cigarette kind of.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about candy cigarettes?
Yeah,
Just as a tangent.
Not
kind of weird. Kind of weird.
They were all, it was very very weird. It was
it's fun for 2 seconds. It's fun for 2 seconds, and then it just wears off.
I'm gonna go ahead and
very 90s.
We're gonna speed run candy cigarettes and put them in F. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. 100%.
It's literally it's chalk.
Our first F tier.
It's chalk. It's
okay.
Gross.
So I can, as much as I love,
and we
Fun
do
Dip,
not. Real quick, Pants. We don't condone kids and smoking and
I don't
vaping
condone
either.
smoking.
Nope.
At all. Just don't smoke.
But
it's 2023.
but
you should know better.
Agreed.
Okay, so candy cigarettes speed run F.
F.
Fun Dip less of a speed run because I probably wouldn't enjoy Fun Dip now, and I could call this a B, but it's a high B from me.
I was willing to concede A just based on the fact that the kiddo and the wifey enjoys it.
All right,
but I'll go with B.
High B.
High B.
Fine.
Okay,
you said B, so it's B.
I can accept a high B. I would rather it be an S. I think my like individual tier list would be very different.
Yeah.
But a cooperative tier list means that we have to make some sacrifices. So King, get ready to sacrifice because next on the roster is Almond Joy, the best candy under the sun. Coconut goodness, almond goodness, enrobed in milk chocolate. Almond Joy could stop wars.
Oh man.
I love coconuts so much. So for me, it's an A because I can only eat like 4 of them before I get sick because it's just too sweet. Almond Joy is fantastic. The lovely candy.
Do you want to go, King, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and go because Pants gave away what my rating was. F. I hate Almond Joy. I don't like almonds. I don't like shaved coconut in anything except for Samoa's, weirdly. But Almond Joys, it's for the same reason because they're too sweet. Also, it's they use ingredients I don't like at all in a candy bar, and I know everyone hates me for not liking Almond Joys. But to throw it in the trash. I can't do it.
Wow. Okay, Slacky, where do you sit?
This is, without a doubt, the worst candy bar ever designed by man.
No, I'm hurt.
First of all, you have the awful texture of what is coconut in a candy bar. Second of all, you make it even worse by throwing almonds in it.
It's one whole almond.
The worst nut to put into a candy bar that you could even think of.
I'm pouting. I'm pouting.
I feel validated.
And then you just basically say it's good. It's garbage. These things
Oh.
go immediately into the trash. I
Oh,
almost want
no.
to punch. I almost want to punch the parent in the face when they hand it to my kid on Halloween night. How dare you
I'm crying in the
put
club.
this in my kid's bag? How dare you come
You're
even close to my child with this disgusting, horrible candy bar that you try to market as good?
Can we put it in D at
Almond Joy.
least? It's like my,
Almond
it's like my
Joy goes
second...
in.
No.
Almond Joy goes in Z tier. It is the worst candy bar ever.
Wait, I have a counterpoint to that. Wait,
No.
let me wipe the tears
There
from
is-
my face. Mounds
There's no
exist.
counter to this.
Mounds.
is even worse.
I agree. Mounds
Because
goes
you
in
don't
F.
have-
Mounds goes in F. Almond Joy
Yeah,
goes in
Mounds also
D
does.
minus.
No. You're telling me that you're giving Mounds an F, but Almond Joy an A because of a
Yeah.
fucking almond?
Yeah. Well, also because it's
No.
milk chocolate, not dark chocolate.
Awful. Both of these are in F tier.
No
and I
way.
will not
No.
say anything else on this.
No. All right. Well, here's the thing. I'm making the list. I'm editing this podcast. Almond Joy goes in D.
All right,
I'll-
fine.
It's like my second, maybe third favorite
Awful.
candy. Oh no.
Awful.
Oh,
So bad.
I'm sobbing.
and I know my wife is over here going, why are you doing this? Because she likes them too. They're just
Yep.
the coconut texture and the almond. It's awful. I'm
So-
literally like trying to stop from dry heaving by thinking of it. It's so
You're
bad.
so angry.
Blackie, you're the only other person I know who hates Almond Joy as much as I do at this
Oh
stage in
my
my life.
God.
This is so hard for me. I've been getting so much crap thrown my way the past few days.
Hey King, do you want to start a podcast?
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, Slacky, can you ask your wife for me if she wants to start a podcast with me? Because it turns
He's
out
not here.
just
For the
just
vendor.
ask her when you see her. Because as it turns out, the past 10 months has been podcasts of, oh, my wife also likes that thing you like, but I hate it.
Yeah, it's very weird. This is a super tangent. It's very weird that you and my wife have very similar
Well, no, it makes
Palate.
sense.
when it comes to food. Like
It makes
like
perfect
you
sense.
both of you really do like a lot of the same things.
Well, we both like
food
you.
wise.
We're both
That's
big
true.
fans of Slacky. We both have good
Yes.
taste.
You're both fans of pickles and mustard, which are disgusting on a hamburger. You're fans of almond joys and peanut M&Ms, which
Yeah.
are almond joys are
I'll agree with that
disgusting.
first one, but I also
But
not
big-
will accept it.
Huge fans of Fun Dip for some reason because
It's fun to eat. It's got fun in the name.
Okay. Just because it has fun in the name doesn't mean it's good. Almond Joy has
Funyuns.
joy in it, and it makes me sad to think that it exists.
Anyway, moving on. Everyone take a sip of water and let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, I need one.
All right. So after now I've been destroyed and decimated emotionally. This is a 2-part rating for this next candidate, and that is Twix.
Mm.
I'm in the left Twix is better camp. I will not be taking any questions on that. But Twix for me is like a C. It's got a good crunch, got some gooey bits, it's got some texture, a little bit of chocolate. Two in a pack, pretty good. Generally speaking, nice. During Halloween, 1 in a pack, even better for portion control. I'm not like losing sleep over Twix if I don't get one. And I'm not throwing a parade if I find 2 in my bag, just like a middle of the road candy.
Twix is a B for me. I do like Twix. Shout out to the cookies and cream and the peanut butter flavored Twixes
Ooh.
that are out there.
Oh,
If you haven't
Okay.
seen those, if you see them, go for it. They're actually pretty decent. But regular Twix, caramel with the cookie and the chocolate. Twix to me is a solid B. I like the cookie. I like the caramel. It's good. It does everything right. It doesn't do anything spectacular. The marketing is kind of odd. I don't like the left versus right Twix. I think it's kind of dumb. Just eat the Twix and whatever.
You know it's the same one in each pack, right?
Of course I do. I'm not an
I'm
idiot.
just making sure.
I'm not an idiot who likes almond joy.
Shut up. How about that?
That's coming back a whole lot. Twix is good. Shout out to the peanut butter and the cookies and cream flavored Twixes. Those are really good. I would give it, like I say, I'd give it a solid B. It's good.
King, where does Twix fall for you?
Twix is my favorite candy bar.
Oh,
It's S. It's S tier. It's perfectly sized. Even like the regular ones that comes in like the 2-bar, it feels like I'm getting a double treat.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the chewy caramel as opposed to like gooey caramel that some other candies have, although a lot of candy bars do chewy caramel. It's got the cookie center. It's got that right amount of crunch to chew to chocolate on the outside balance for me. And also I am also a fellow left Twix guy. So
Huge.
easiest S tier for me.
I'll concede A.
I was
It's
gonna
good.
say because even my C was like a pretty high C. So like
Mm.
I think A is fine. Slack for the sake of not being a filthy mongrel. Can you agree that the left one is better? Cool, thank you.
After he admits they're both the same.
They're
Hey, can you admit the left one's better?
They're identical. It doesn't matter, but the left one's better. Everyone knows that. The
Child.
packaging is better. I
I
personally,
agree. Yeah,
I know,
for packaging purposes, yeah.
like Slacky, you said that you
Child.
thought that was a stupid thing. I think that single-handedly made Twix interesting in this millennium.
I think they had to though.
Yeah,
'Cause I
and
think
they
Twix
did it
was-
successfully.
And
The,
you're
the
right. I
left,
will say
the
this.
left
Nailed
versus
it.
right Twix is the equivalent of Wendy's flaming people on Twitter. It
Twix
made
was
them
falling
socially,
into-
it made
Yeah.
them present on social media. It
I think
made
they
them
were-
valuable.
Yeah, I think they were
It's the
falling
funnest
into a bit of a
gunfight ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll introduce the next one. The next one is Kit Kat, and I think Kit Kat is really good. I think it's an A tier.
Mhm.
The crunch, the fact that you can break it. You know, they have the slogan, the jingle that's been going on for years. You know, that's kept them afloat for a long time. Twix is good, or not Twix, Kit Kat, Kit Kat.
The Freudian slip of how good Twix are.
Because I was staring at Twix on the list. Yes, Kit Kat is really good. The different flavors of Kit Kat out there, the mint ones are really good. If you didn't have the mint chocolate ones, those are really good. But what I need to discuss with you guys is, are you a psychopath that eats it all in one instead of breaking them off?
Yes.
I knew that about you.
So
Couldn't
hold on. Let
saw that
me
coming.
justify my reasoning. I don't really like Kit Kats. I think Kit Kats are a candy that just want to be a better candy. Like
Yeah.
Kit Kats believe in themselves, but it's not enough. They don't have the raw skill or talent to make it in the big leagues, but they're like the loving like minor league team that like everyone knows them. And it's like, oh, well, it's fun. We could go do this. Like, we could go enjoy a Kit Kat. That's fine. All their flavors, who cares? They all taste pretty similar. The churro Kit Kat, garbage. The matcha Kit Kats, garbage. The mint Kit Kats, decent. There's no one Kit Kat that I'm like, wow, that's really great. I need more of these. They're all just okay. The reason that I eat them in one bite is because I typically will buy the smaller ones that I can just eat the whole thing in one go. Where it's just two in a side by side, and they're shorter in length.
Oh, I cringed.
It's just easier. I don't have to. I can break it apart with my teeth.
I cringed. Let's see. So, what was the question?
Do you eat big Kit Kats in one piece?
I usually don't, but like I'll break. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll break it like because it usually comes in 4 bars. I'll just break it in half and then eat the 2 bars at a time.
That's acceptable.
So you're both.
Yeah, I'm kind of both. Yeah, I got a foot in both worlds there.
Damn.
Yeah.
I love how non-committed you are to any one camp in the Kit Kat feud. I do both. I break the 4 down into 2, and then I just bite directly into the 2 like a savage.
He's got just enough OCD. He's got just enough OCD to break it in half before he eats it like a candy bar. I can appreciate that. Yeah,
it feels more orderly to do it that way. I don't know.
Yeah, the fun size version with the 2 sticks. You know, I feel like that's acceptable if you want to eat that as one. On the other hand, like I've got to break it out. I guess that's my OCD nature in me. I've got to, if it's the full size, like the regular size Kit Kat that has the 4, partitions, I guess you could say. I break them off one at a time. Most of the time because I'm sharing with other people, usually my wife.
That's fair. If I know I'm going to share Kit Kats with somebody, like especially if I get one of those like stupid novelty flavors, I have a personal vendetta against the churro ones because they had so much hope, or I had so much hope for them to be like phenomenal, and they were the worst Kit Kats I've ever had.
I didn't know those existed.
They're not good. Save yourself the time.
There are some wild like Kit Kat flavors, like especially like if you're talking about like the Japanese ones
Yes.
where they go
Yes. I was
super
going to talk
crazy
about
with
those.
it.
Yeah. I was going to talk about those when we get to me.
So Slacky, where do you put Kit Kats?
They're an A tier for me.
Okay.
I really like Kit Kats. I think they're a top tier for me.
I put them around C, like a low C for me. So King, take us home. Where are we putting this?
As a whole, I would probably put B plus.
Okay, I can agree with a B. Like
Yeah, I can go with B.
It would be a low B for me, but I think like across the board, it's still a B.
I can go with B.
I think B is fair. Moving forward, we're gonna break away from the chocolate for a little bit. How do you guys feel about Skittles? And I'm just talking like regular Skittles.
Yeah, not the flavors.
What?
So there's different types of Skittles. You know this, right?
Yeah, I just didn't understand the question that you meant. Like, yeah, like
That's
not like the Skittles smoothies or the tropical ones or the sour ones. The Skittles smoothies, by the way, banging.
We can all agree.
Those are good. Those are good.
That the wild berry, the purple bag of Skittles, is probably the best flavor of Skittles.
Yep, I can agree with that.
Over the original flavors. Skittles, the original flavor, I think is a C for me. God, they hurt your jaw so much after eating like 10 of them.
Skittles are like the beef jerky of candy, where like I'm not like full from eating them. I'm just tired of chewing them.
Me too.
Like, I get bored of them before they've fulfilled their need.
Okay, so we can all agree that Skittles has the weirdest campaigns.
Oh yeah.
The Taste the Rainbow marketing campaign is just off the wall bizarre. Like it's not even, it's just so weird. You know, the things that they do where it's like, and I don't remember anything off the top of my head. I just remember them just being so bizarre. Also, shout out to Marshawn Lynch, who's a huge Skittles fan. He got a little marketing gig out of it too. But Skittles to me are just they're okay. Like if I see them in my kids like candy bag or basket or whatever, and I'm digging around, I'm gonna be like, what Skittles and what else we got in here? You know, I'm not going for them. They're a C for me.
I think C is a good spot for Skittles. King, what are your thoughts? Like
okay.
I know what your thoughts are, but
Yeah.
Please
we need the world to know.
Please tell the people, yeah.
For my tier list, sorry. Skittles are an A tier because I like fruity, chewy candy. So,
okay.
And I can actually taste like all the different flavors because that was another point that was interesting to me is like a lot of people put them at like they say they all taste the same to them. That's like a new critique for me. I especially remember as a kid, like loving to get them in my bag. They're not my highest choice, but they're one of the first ones I go to eat. Sure. I love Skittles.
Okay, so it's a C from me, a C from Slacky, an A from King. Do we want to put it in? Do we want to keep it in C? Do we want to move it up to B? How high of an A is it for you?
I would be fine if I would concede to even a low B.
Okay, Slacky, could you agree with a B somewhere in there?
B's fine. B's fine. Anybody else do the OCD thing and separate your colors and eat them individually?
Absolutely.
Me, yeah, 100%.
Which is why it's wild to me that King, you mentioned earlier that people like feel like they're all the same flavor. Definitely not. I agree. When you throw like 3 or 4 of them together, like different flavors in your mouth at one time, like the flavors mixes together and it does kind of seem kind of similar. But if you're eating the lemon ones versus the purple ones versus the red ones, they are.
How come lemon was the only one you named by flavor?
Because I don't know exactly what the red flavor is.
Yeah, but purple's only one thing. There's only one purple flavor.
Because lemon is just bad. Lemon's bad.
That felt really aggressively targeted. Lemon, red, purple. You know, this is the Great Divide ice cream make all over again.
I think it is purple flavor instead of grape flavor, but I like purple flavor, so
that's fair. Moving forward, Whoppers, not the burger. For me personally, D. I think they're kind of shit.
Whopper. Oh,
these might even be F for me because like I don't really like them. I think eating one is good, but after one, like the Halloween pack where it's just 3 in a little plastic sleeve is like, even those 3 is a struggle for me to get through. Like they're just not that good.
Whoppers for me are a D tier. They're not good.
I could put them in D.
The problem that I have with Whoppers is every once in a while you get the one that's stale and it just You just like
Yeah.
immediately like I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this.
that ruins
Uh,
candy for me for the day.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I mean in concept the malted ball, it's good as a this is
I
gonna
don't
sound weird.
I don't even think
It's
it's
good.
good.
It's good as a shake. You know what I mean? Like if
Okay.
you
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
if you did like Whoppers like in a shake or like a Blizzard style, I think you could
Ooh, that's
probably
a good
get me.
point.
But on their own, it's just
Mm,
especially if you get the stale one, it's just
Yeah.
like usually the Whoppers end up in the
yeah.
trash for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. King, do you have anything
Yeah.
significant to add about Whoppers? Otherwise, they're going to go in D and we're going to move on.
D 100%. Just put them in D.
All right. Works for me.
That's it.
All right. So
It mirrors my opinion. So
we're going to speed run the next three because they're all very similar. So gummy bears. King, we had a brief discussion prior to recording about your favorite brand of gummy bears versus mine. So you like the Albanese gummy bears. I'm a Haribo girly myself, but I'll eat every gummy bear in sight. I don't care. I love gummy candy is the
yep,
best candy.
yep.
So gummy bears for me. I don't know if I can put them in A or in S, but I can definitely put them in A.
For me personally, it's S. But for like, I know like a lot of people are weird about gummies, so I could live with putting it in A tier personally. Gummies are my favorite candy. Period. Like you said,
Yep.
I don't care. I'll if I see a gummy, I'll eat it. But yeah, Albanese are my favorite.
Fair. So Slacky, now is where you say gummy bears go in D, but your wife likes them a lot.
She does like them a lot. She is an Albanese fan.
Wow, is it
She
everyone but
Yeah.
me? Maybe I need to research.
pants. I'm a Haribo guy.
Yes.
I'm on the
Oh my
Haribo
god.
side of gummies. She likes the Albanese because she usually buys. She prefers.
So
She
you
likes the
guys get the
worms.
Albanese.
Yes, of course we do. The bears are
Haribo
good.
is
The worms are good. I put gummies in an A category
Okay.
for me. I like them. They're good. There's so many different types of gummies, that we're gonna get to a lot of them later on. But for the most part, like gummy candy as a whole, like gummy bears are good.
Sure.
And I'm gonna throw this in at the last minute and just completely wipe everyone out. Muddy bears
Muddy
are
bears.
probably S
Fantastic.
tier.
Yep.
If you don't know, it's the chocolate
I gotta
covered
try
gummy
those.
bears. They're
It's
really good.
it's
There's a
the
place.
only movie theater candy worth eating.
Yeah, there's a place
I gotta try those.
in between where I live in California called Eddie World that sells like bulk bags of candy, like
Whoa.
1 pound bags of candy. And every time we stop there, Wifey's got to pick up a bag of Muddy Bears.
That's huge.
And
That's so
usually
good.
9 times out of 10, I finish the bag without her, and I get in so much trouble.
Oh, absolutely. It's the ice cream
As you do.
capers fiasco all over again.
True. Yeah.
All right, so gummy bears, A, across the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bears, gummy worms, just like the regular, like flavors, not like we're not talking any of the other stuff.
No, not the
I think
novelties.
A tier is good.
I will offer gummy worms, exponentially better than gummy bears. Trolley gummy worms, the sour ones that are two colors split down the middle. S tier, it's going to be hard to sway me away from this. Gummy worms are fantastic. They blow every other gummy anything out of the water. I could get a 5-pound bag of trolley gummy worms and die happy.
Albanese also makes a really good like sour worm.
I'm gonna have to try them.
I just tried them. They're good. They're so good. I prefer them to trolley. I will say that because of that, I used to be more bears, but Albanese like gummy worms, I match your opinion, Pant. If we're talking Albanese, it's fantastic. Blows bears out of the water. A, S, on that borderline between A and S, but I can do either one.
Slacky, could you concede an S on gummy worms?
Sure, they're good.
Huge.
I don't think I personally would put them in an S tier. My gut feeling says it's not an S. It's more of an A. But
I can put them in A.
I can concede it.
I can put them in A. It's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
A
that's fine.
plus.
I think the
A
difference for me is like the difference that we had between like mini M&Ms and M&Ms. Like mini M&Ms
Yeah.
are a B, which forces regular M&Ms down to C. Gummy worms are better. So like gummy worms sit in S, and it forces gummy bears down to A. But I can understand why they're not an S. This next gummy category is the final like gummy candy. This is the all-encompassing novelty gummies. So things like specifically coming to mind gummy Krabby Patties and like the little gummy pizzas.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think they're fun, but like the gimmick carries them more than the candy itself. So like for me, they're like a C. Like they're fun to eat. You play with
Yeah.
them a little bit. You get like, oh, I gotta build my little burger. But as like a
Yeah.
Halloween candy, like if I get one, I'm pretty stoked. If I get more than one, I'm like, all right. Like I'm not excited to eat the second one.
Yep. I'll match that. See,
I feel
I
like
got nothing to add.
it's all style, no substance.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it's just like it's more about the shape and what it looks like than what it is the actual flavor of it. So yeah, it's a definite C.
Cool. All right, with the gummy category closed out, plus or minus, we have one last gum thing. It is gum balls. In the Halloween sense, I'm very specifically referring to the gum balls that look like eyeballs, or any other like assorted gum ball. Um, Gum balls generally pretty shit,
Yeah.
just not good. Low C, high D.
They're for decoration.
They're filler. It's like they're equivalent of
Yeah.
like popcorn at the table when you go to a restaurant. It's just like here's some trash to fill you up so you don't need anything else. Like it's just something to occupy you.
Exactly.
I'm surprised, Pants, that this is not a D F tier. Like those gumballs have flavor for about 10 seconds and then you're just immediately spitting them out. If you don't know how to blow a bubble, if you don't know how to annoy your friends with the incessant popping sound when it comes to
Popping.
gum,
Oh,
then
God.
You know
there's
what?
no point in even having these things. I think it's an F tier.
I'll put it in F because
borderline
the second you
B
said it,
minus tier.
I thought about how frustrating and annoying it is to hear somebody crack their gum. And I
Yeah.
immediately, I physically
Yeah.
recoiled. So yeah, gumballs go in F. If you like gumballs, shut up.
Shut up. Yeah.
That's it. Let's talk about good candy again.
Yay.
So for me, right here, right away, Payday, S tier candy. For me, I know that's not going to fly for anyone else under the sun. Payday is Payday's probably I like Payday more than Almond Joy. It's just a phenomenal candy. It's got lots of texture. It's got a fun, funky shape. I just learned today that they also come in chocolate enrobed. I would be willing to hear out arguments to remove it from S, but for me, it's an S.
Payday is an A for me.
I thought you were going to
like
say
Payday.
something way lower than
No,
that.
no.
I
I do like paydays. I do. I really do. I would put the chocolate covered ones because I've had them before in the S tier category.
Oh, I need to.
They're the chocolate ones. The chocolate covered paydays are phenomenal. They are really good, and it's everything you want from a payday that is just basically dipped in chocolate.
That sounds really good.
I need to try the chocolate ones.
Go ahead and break my
Payday
heart,
for me.
King. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I dare
Yeah. Pants knows my feelings. See, I put it in C plus tier though, because it's like one of those things. They're better than I think they're going to be. It's just because I said they were missing the chocolate, but now that I know the chocolate exists, those ones are going to have to, because I like the concept of like a peanut buttery chewy center actually,
Sure.
because I love peanut butter and chocolate. So I put them in high mid tier.
So
Yeah.
pending a chocolate covered Payday, would you allow it to go into A?
Oh, B plus.
B plus.
I'm
Interesting.
okay with that.
It hurts me, but I'll do it.
Oh man, okay.
I can.
You can put it in.
I can.
Paydays are solid.
No.
They're solid.
I can agree with B because I'm keeping in mind how like the general public feels about them as well.
Yeah.
And I can recognize that not everybody likes a solid bar of peanuts.
Yeah. Some people might feel shortchanged.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you I would say this to the people who are not a fan of paydays. If you can find the chocolate covered ones, if you can find the chocolate paydays, try that at least before you officially throw paydays in the trash.
Yeah, I'd give them a go.
Absolutely. Slacky, you want to kick us off on the next few?
I guess starting off with this first one, we have just a plain Hershey's chocolate bar, which I think for me is synonymous with s'mores more than it is with like Halloween. I think this reminds me of and this might be just old school me, where you have the assorted Hershey's, the little bite-sized ones where you have the original Hershey, and then you have the Mr. Good bar, and then you have the Crunch, and then you have the Special Darks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but this is like late 80s, early 90s for me. I do like a plain Hershey's chocolate bar, especially with like a glass of milk, because I'm weird like that, I
What?
guess. Uh,
Again,
yeah,
oh no, time out. This is 2 times now that you've been like, I like chocolate and milk. What?
yes, I like chocolate and milk.
Chocolate makes me want water.
Chocolate milk.
No,
Like I don't know. I don't. No,
King, you're gonna have
chocolate's
to decide this.
it's
You're
so
gonna have to decide
dry.
this.
Like cocoa dries out my mouth, and I need water.
No, cocoa has a milk texture to it, and I need the milk to balance it out.
You already.
I
King, help us.
see. Yeah. Dude. Pants, you're the only other person I've known like have that same complaint about like chocolate ice cream in particular. Chocolate ice cream makes me thirsty.
Let's fucking go.
So it's chocolate. I'm a fellow. I don't know if this is like a genetic thing or something, but like chocolate also makes me like want water. So
yes,
I can maybe understand milk, but I need the water. I'm thirsty.
Just sounds unfortunate with chocolate, unless it's chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Chocolate milk?
Yeah, same.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm cool with chocolate milk.
Y'all are weird.
Probably.
Hershey.
I didn't get it. But yeah, chocolate milk. If we're talking chocolate milk,
I guess back to the idea.
Okay, so where
Hershey?
Where do you put this?
Hershey. This is the definition of mid.
Yep.
It's a C.
Yep.
It is a chocolate bar with nothing in it. It's just plain chocolate. Cool. It's a C.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty easy.
C it is.
Yeah.
So
C is good.
moving quickly to the next one, a crunch bar. This to me is a B plus because I like the crunch. I really do. I think the chocolate and the crunch goes really well together, but it's not enough to like throw it way up into the A or S tier. It's good. I like a good crunch bar, and I'd say it's a B.
The crunch bar is the quiet neighbor that every once in a while pops over and goes, "Hey, I was trying to bake this new thing. How do you and I got too much. You want some?" Like it's a little bit better. It's just a slightly up-tuned chocolate bar. Just for honorable mention, when King had done his tier list, he had brought up Crackle candy bars, which are just like Wish brand. It's just a Wish brand crunch
Crackle
bar. It's just worse.
No, it's Crackle is the Hershey brand of the crunch bar. Crunch bar is Nestle. Crackle is Hershey.
But Nestle makes a better crunch bar, a better puffed rice chocolate treat. Nestle wins every time.
True.
I could agree with that.
But I agree with your original assessment that B, like it's a B tier candy. Like it's just a little bit better than Hershey's, but I'm not writing home about it.
Yeah. So personally, if we're talking, it sort of depends on the portion that you get. Because like a regular Nestle Crunch bar, I feel like is actually, there's something about being thinner that makes it better to me than like the fun sized ones you get in Halloween.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because it reminds me of Crackle too much. I don't like Crackle. The rice balls didn't have enough addition to it to make it like above C tier for me. Just I put it with Hershey's right now because it doesn't add enough to it. If we're talking about a regular sized bar, I would bump it up to B. But if we're talking just in the realm of Halloween, where you get like everything fun sized, that's a C.
For averaging, could you concede with a low B?
Yeah.
Okay. I think
absolutely.
That keeps the list. So just as a quick recap, as we are approximately halfway through, we have one S tier and so many A and Bs. This is interesting. Like I figured we could, between the three of us, find at least more than one S tier, but at the same time, like we still got 20 more. So we'll get through it.
Yeah.
So Slacky.
Next thing I have on the list here, this is a throwback for me that has made a resurgence, I would say, in the last 4 or 5 years. And this is Pop Rocks. When I was a kid, these things were all the rage. This is early 90s. They had commercials going. They were huge. They were like I loved Pop Rocks when I was a kid because you would take like the bag and you'd shove a bunch in your mouth and you just sit there with your mouth open so everyone could hear the crackle that's going on in your mouth. It's just the stupidest thing to do as a kid. Just standing there with candy
just with your mouth open.
Like an idiot. But I mean it was cool. And then it just kind of died. Yeah, it just kind of died. And then it started coming back. And I think, like I think there's a couple places. I want to say Sonic had a drink that they put Pop Rocks in, or a maybe not the branded Pop Rocks, but a similar, candy that had that same, thing that Pop Rocks does.
Sure.
And I think it kind of brought it back a little bit. This is more of a novelty than it is a candy. The candy itself was actually just kind of lame.
What?
It wasn't very good
Hmm.
to me. I would put this at a C based on
Whoa.
just the novelty of it, and the fact that you just basically stood there as a kid with your mouth open listening to the list of popping
That
sound.
might just be a you thing, my guy.
Probably.
Like that maybe go to therapy a little bit. I don't know. Who knows?
Nah.
But so okay, so you put it at C. King, where do you fall on Pop Rocks?
This is tough for me. Because the thing is, like, I actually like Pop Rocks, but I'm not like blown away by them.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think mid, but like as a kid, that was pretty. It was like a funner version. You were talking about like the sound of like gum popping.
Mm-hmm.
That's that, but more fun and quieter.
Yeah.
It's just like fireworks going off in your mouth. I don't know. I'd give them a low B if it was me. That's kind of where I'm at, because like the different flavors were they had different flavors too. Yeah, low B.
They fall in a similar window for like Fun Dip for me, where it's like, whoa, if I see Pop Rocks as an option in like an open bowl on a stoop or whatever, Pop Rocks are an immediate go-to choice. Slacky, you gave Pop Rocks a C. King, you gave it a B. I would put Pop Rocks in A because I like the experience. I think they're fun to eat. We can call an average B if everyone's cool with that. They're fun to eat. They're like the same speed, like I said, as Fun Dip, where it's an enjoyable experience to eat, but like I can understand how they're like kind of boring. The candy itself is just popping sugar flavor,
Yeah.
but it's just
Yeah.
like they're fun to eat. It's more like a candy that like a chocolate bar that has Pop Rocks in it is great because you get the smooth chocolatey bit and then you get like the fun side of the Pop Rocks. Speaking of B, we have Butterfingers. Next. I like Butterfingers. I think they're a little underrated. They're only good, in my opinion, in the small size because it's too much crunch. There's too many textures. It's got a good flavor, but the little ones are like a must. I'd probably put this in C. 1 is good, 2 is a lot.
I agree. C, because kind of it works on the same principle as a Heath bar, but I think I like the flavor better. I used to love them as a kid,
Mhm.
but I think they make an even better Blizzard ingredient.
Yep.
I think that's kind of what you need to use for Butterfinger. I like your point about like smaller bite-sized ones for the reasons you stated, because it's there's too many layers to it. It's real crunchy. You just need a little bit. You don't need the full bars feel too filling.
Yeah, like it's exhausting. Like I feel bad eating a full one.
I remember they used to have the Butterfinger bite-sized candies way back in the day, like the little sphere
Fantastic.
ones.
Like perfect size.
Yeah.
That would be the most preferred
That's
way
what
to keep
Whoppers
doing.
want to be.
Yes, 100% agree. That said, C tier for the regular.
Yeah. Slacky, do you have any plus or minus?
I like Butterfingers. I think they're up there. They're like a low A, high B for me.
Interesting.
But it's like what King said. I loved them as a kid, but now it's like I'm kind of like they're good.
Mhm.
They're better than some candy bars, but they're not as good as other ones. I'd say they're probably a solid B for me now.
Could you agree with a C? Could we
Uh,
sway you?
C plus. I feel like Butterfinger needs to be better than a C. The reason why I say that, it's a very distinct, not copied flavor. Like, a lot of these candy bars, like Crunch bars,
Mhm.
and you could even argue that a Snickers and a Baby Ruth are pretty much the same thing, except different flavored chocolates in a way. But no one else is really doing Butterfinger out there.
I think there's a
And
reason though.
but I think it's because it's got a distinct flavor to it. And I feel like it needs to be higher than just a C.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be at least a B minus.
I do like the middle as a flavor, but like chewing it sucks.
So, Slacky, are you suggesting that Heath bars and Butterfingers are the same level of good? So, just to
No.
remind you what's in B: Heath bars,
Ooh.
M&M minis, Fun Dip, Kit Kats, Skittles, Paydays, Crunch bars. I don't think Butterfingers would, like, if we were doing a bracket, I know the
It's a
B
B
word is
minus.
banned.
It's a B minus for me.
I think Butterfingers would go out in the first round to a lot of other candies.
It's to a lot of our candies, yes, but I think y'all are just underselling and kind of hating on it a little bit.
Not hating.
I think one of you
I could
even said it
compromise.
was one of you even said it was underrated, and then put it solidly in the C category.
Yeah, it's underrated. I think it's.
I could
not great.
compromise at a B minus.
I
could.
I will begrudgingly put it in B.
Got some civility in here.
Tiny.
I just put it in B. I did it. I did the thing. I'm not happy about it.
B for Butterfinger.
B for
We have a lot of
There you
B tiers.
go.
B for bad.
B for bad.
And now the truth comes out.
No, I like one Butterfinger. One is my limit. Two, my
Moving
jaw
on.
hurts already.
A tiny
Anyway,
one, a mini one.
So, all right, Starburst is next on the list. Starburst, fantastic. The pink Starburst is the best one. People that like the yellow Starburst the best, shut up. I won't hear it. I don't care what you think. If the yellow one is your favorite one, you're objectively wrong. Slacky, I hope the yellow one's not your favorite one, because that's not a personal attack on you. I just think the yellow one's not good.
Yellow ones go straight in the trash.
Let's go.
The worst thing you can get on Halloween night, other than an Almond Joy and a Mounds, because we've already established that, is when you open up the little two-pack of Starburst.
And it's two yellows.
Double yellow. And it's just like, I just want to crawl into a hole and
Two
die.
yellows is... I would rather get broken glass.
True. There was a time when I went through a creative writing phase, like in my like early 20s.
Can we get some of that? Can we dig that up, please?
No, we can't.
Can I message your wife to find some?
It was all mental. She's all mental. None of this was ever written down.
Oh, so that's not writing. That's just thinking. That's creative thinking.
There's a theory that I have about the 2-pack Starburst and how it can affect your day based on what it is you get in those 2 packs. And we can all agree that the best combo is either 2 reds, 2 pinks, or a red and a pink.
Red pink is the best combo.
I would agree with you there. I would go on a limb and say double red is my favorite. I like the red ones better than the pink ones, but I will also say that the pink ones are just as good as the red ones.
And that's why I think pink red is the jackpot combo.
Red pink,
I think,
yeah.
Or yeah. What did I say?
So you start
red?
your day.
Doesn't matter.
You said pink red, yeah. You start your day with the 2-pack Starburst, and you open it up, and what you get is how your day's gonna go. If it's double yellow, you just might as well go right back to sleep.
All right. Any mystics listening? Ditch the tarot cards. Buy a bulk pack of 2-pack Starburst. That's your new reading tool. You want to see how someone's future is? 2-pack of Starburst. Open it up. Let them open it up. Sorry, and then read the Starburst. Also, King,
you gotta read it left to right too.
I think that's fair. King, where do you?
All right.
What are your Starburst opinions? Oh wait, Slacky, where do you put Starburst? A?
Yeah, where do you put Starburst?
C.
C?
They're just C. They're just mid. They're mid. They're okay.
C?
They can only
Slacky,
handle.
You're gonna let Starburst dictate your entire future, and then you're gonna put it in C?
God.
I didn't say they were great.
You're a lunatic.
I just had a theory.
No, Starburst go in A.
No,
You're King. Help us out, please. Just talk over him. Just talk over him.
After 5
Don't listen to
your
Slacky
jaw
anymore.
starts to hurt.
Okay.
Why are you eating 5? It's a 2-pack.
First of all, my favorite combination. Red are my favorite, but I love the red-orange combination. That's my favorite.
Interesting. That says a lot about you.
I like the orange ones too. I actually don't. So I agree that like yellow is the least desirable for me, because it kind of gives off like a lemon zest or a lemon. What do you call it? Lemon skin.
Sadness is the word you're looking for.
But I don't think it's that bad. Even Starburst's weakest flavor is not that bad to me. I would put Starbursts are an S tier for me.
Let's go.
Wow.
I'm comfortable with putting them in S tier.
Wow.
I can't not have them in my bag. They're amazing. They're one of my favorite candies too.
Starbursts are
But yeah,
great.
the red ones, are above and beyond my favorite in the bag. My order is red, orange, pink, then yellow.
I think it's for me.
But
It's pink, red, orange, yellow.
Red, pink, orange, yellow.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All
We
right,
can
so
all agree that yellow is bad.
yeah.
Well,
So Slacky, on the premise of you are willing to let this candy dictate your actual day, will you concede an A because we have
No.
an S and an A?
B at the highest.
Come on.
B
You
at
get the highest. All right, so here's Slacky.
No.
Slacky, I'm pulling rank and it's going an A.
I don't care. This just
Oh.
Starburst. They're just. I mean, they're just.
They're good. They're delicious. They're the perfect amount. They're everything a now
They're
and later
amazing.
wishes it
I love
was.
them.
You're
Yes,
right.
thank
You're
you for
you're
making it.
right. You're
Now
right.
and now and laters
now
are
and
the
laters
boomer starburst.
Now and laters take like 2 years to chew.
Yeah, that's why
agree.
they're
They
named
frustrate
that
me.
because you eat one now and you're chewing it later. Like that's why
Yeah.
they're named appropriately. I'd like to
Yeah,
move
they
forwards.
now and later make me mad.
Slacky, when we're done here, I want to talk more about your creative writing phase.
Yes.
And I'm gonna need to please, if you're a mystic, please reach out. I would like my future to be read via candy. Airheads. It's just long starburst, but more chewy, weirder flavor.
Airheads. There's like an order preference that I went through. My 3 favorite flavors are cherry, grape, orange. That's my top 3 in that order. Everyone seems to like the white mystery for some reason. I don't. I mean, even the weak, like with Starburst, even their weakest is good to me. But I like white mystery the least. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just the mystery after like the first couple white mysteries I had is just like, what's the mystery? It's just kind of like it's a little underwhelming to me.
That's fair.
That said, I love that they're easy to chew, almost like taffy, essentially. Easier to chew taffy. So A.
I think A is fair. Slacky, what do you got cooking?
I'm gonna agree with King. It's A. I love it. I love Airheads. Airheads
A's
are
across the board.
I think Airheads are better than Starburst in my opinion.
All right, well, we didn't ask that. Nobody asked for your opinion, except for the part where I distinctly ask for your opinion. So if you ignore that,
nobody asked for that opinion.
Yeah, nobody wanted you to say that specific thing.
It's
like he had a double yellow day.
Oof, you can tell because he's grumpy.
True.
Yeah.
Yes, Airheads are really good. I think I like the white mystery flavor, by the way, King. I think it's good.
I think
you're right.
It's a fun flavor.
The purple ones are good. The blue ones are probably the best. The blue raspberry it's probably the best Airhead flavor out there, to be honest.
Solid.
But Airheads A's across the board.
Yeah.
I think it's the first one we all agree.
Besides Reese's, yeah.
There were a couple in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I think
there's a few. Like we all agreed that candy cigarettes are bad. We all agreed that Mounds are bad. We all agree that gumballs are bad. We all agreed that Three Musketeers kind of bad. How do you all feel about Sour Patch Kids?
Easy S. The reason why is because they are both a good Halloween candy and they're a good watch a movie candy, and you can do both in one night. You can have some for the trick-or-treaters and leave some for yourself while you're watching a scary movie on TV.
Slacky, how do you feel?
They're an A. I don't want to put them in S because I'm not a huge fan of the sour candies, and too many Sour Patch Kids starts to kind of like overwhelm my taste buds. The sour starts to kind of get to me a little bit. This is wifey's go-to movie theater candy, 100%. The Sour Patch Kids. This is an S plus tier for her. She loves Sour Patch Kids. They're probably her favorite candy that's not a Reese's peanut butter cup.
That's completely fair.
I like them too. I think they're good, but to me they're an A. They're not quite an S because I don't think I love them as much as everyone else. But they're an A. Really good candy.
So King puts it in an S. Slacky, you put it in an A. I put it as like a very high S, like a top 5 candy for certain. So Slacky, on your wife's behalf,
Yes.
Can you give this an S?
I'll give it an S.
That is our
Yeah.
second S.
I saw that coming too. I
It's so good.
That's so good. Yeah.
Are we also
so good.
are we also a fan of like the little side projects they do where it's like this? I think it's like the sour watermelon slices. I think they have.
They're all good.
They just had a harvest apple kind that was like super limited edition, and those were good.
Wow. I have to see if I can
Yeah.
find those.
Yeah, I saw them,
I
and
don't think they're on the
it was
shelves
like in a
anymore.
Kano bag, and I just couldn't do it because if I cannot close a package, it's one serving, and I can't eat 20 ounces of candy in one sitting. I'll die.
They flew off the shelf, I swear. Like outside of September, they're gone.
Yeah, I believe that. To proceed forward, we have two questionably worse chewy candies, not gummies, but chewy. Swedish Fish. Personally, they're kind of shit. I think the mini ones are good because it's fun to just kind of chew on them for a little bit, but like they're not that good. Like I think they're like C at the best. What do you guys think?
I put them at C.
Let's go.
I put them at C. The thing is, I do actually like Swedish Fish. I put them at C because they're that candy that I keep like. I don't go out of my way to get if they're there. If somebody has them, I'll eat them, and I'm like, okay, these are better than I thought. But then I forget about them again. I just keep forgetting about them. So I don't think they're bad. I think a lot of people kind of overstate how bad they are because I on one hand I can kind of get it because they have that like red dye taste to them, but yeah. So see,
they introduced a little bit ago a blue raspberry flavor of Swedish
Oh, did
Fish.
they?
Blue raspberry. They're called blue raspberry lemonade. And
that sounds pretty
blue
good.
instead of red.
I would try that.
I don't like that though. I feel like blue fish in my head is gummy sharks, and then I want gummy sharks, and then I'm handed blue lemonade Swedish Fish. The only chewy candy that can go stale.
That's a fair point, but I don't know. I blue raspberry lemonade, yeah, absolutely, because it's got that little tang tart to it. Yeah,
yeah, they're better. I would say they're better than the original. They're just C for me. Almost borderline.
That's where fish go.
Almost borderline D. Honestly,
yeah,
because I just think Swedish Fish, they're just very mid. They're okay, but
they're not memorable.
They're other gummy flavored candies that I'm interested in.
Yep, another less than critical chewy candy. Mike and Ike's, kind of like who cares candy. They're another one that like it's one of the last few in my candy bag that I'm gonna reach for. They're good if I want something chewier than gummies, but not as chewy as Skittles. It's just like a little bit more chew to it.
Yeah, that's a good
fruit flavor. If you're old, you can get Good and Plenty's, which are just bad licorice Mike and Ike's. Yeah. Realistically,
I hate those things.
they're horrible. Licorice is not on this list because it's disgusting. Licorice is a punishment.
Yeah. Thank you for leaving it off.
That's gross.
Yeah. So, a lot of people hate me.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put all licorice in F.
I agree.
There we go. I'm not even capitalizing licorice. I lied. I am because every other thing on this is capitalized. But licorice just goes in F tier. Mike and Ike's. I think Mike and Ike's are a D.
Wow.
They're not great. I could argue like a low C. They're not good though. I think they sit comfortably at or below Swedish Fish.
So since you're putting like Twizzlers on the F tier. Licorice on the F tier.
So Twizzlers do not go in the F tier, my friend.
Okay,
we'll get there.
I know we're not at that yet. I was just like, wait. So does that mean Twizzlers or
no?
But
like,
I guess
like any licorice flavored candy.
Okay. Oh, so like the black licorice. Okay. Mike and Ike's. I like Mike and Ike's, but I would probably put them at a B if you're asking how I feel about them. Yeah, okay. I put them at a B.
Slacky, where do you put this terrible candy?
I agree with Kane. I like Mike and Ike's. They're a B.
All right.
So I put Mike and Ike's at a B. I really enjoy them. I like how they have different kind of like styles of flavors.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they're not super chewy. I like the grape. The grape ones are probably my favorite. But I enjoy like all the other different flavors that they
Mhm.
have. Um, I really like Mike and Ike's. I think they're a very underrated, fruity, chewy candy.
I can
Same.
put them in B, but moving forward, we're gonna dip out of the chewies for a moment and hit up revisit some chocolate. The good old Baby Ruth bar.
Baby Ruth.
I have no real opinions for or against. It's like a B for me, but I can be swayed pretty easily. I don't know the last decade that I had a Baby Ruth. It just is like, I don't know, not a chocolate bar on my radar ever.
Mhm.
But I don't have any bad feeling towards it. Everything that I can think of it is like, this is okay. This is just a different Snickers.
Mm, I put them in the A tier on mine, because like they're another one of those bars that like I think they'll be mid tier, but then I bite into it and I'm surprised at how much I like them. So it also just doesn't feel like I only have Baby Ruth probably around Halloween, but it also at
Yep.
the same time I get sad if I don't
Mhm.
if I have Halloween candy and a Baby Ruth's not in there. So for me, they're an A tier, probably on the lower part of A tier, but still an A tier.
I agree with what King said. I think the only time you really see a Baby Ruth is during Halloween time. I'm not going out of my way in the 7-Eleven looking at the candy aisle going, "Ooh, Baby Ruth. Where's the Baby Ruth?" It's usually directed towards other candy bars.
Mhm.
Uh, I am of the opinion, and this is going to be really controversial. I think Baby Ruths are better than Snickers.
Interesting.
That is
And
controversial.
and I know it's really gonna make a lot of people upset. I think the only reason why Snickers
I'm a little bit
is
upset. I'm not
is
gonna lie.
is is a little higher on everyone's list than Baby Ruth is because of marketing. I think when it
Interesting.
comes to putting the candy bar together, we have the chocolate, you have the peanuts, the nougat, the caramel, which is what Baby Ruth and Snickers both have. I
Mhm.
think the Nestle chocolate goes with it better than the Hershey chocolate. I think it tastes better, and I think they put more of the nougat than Snickers does in the
Interesting.
Baby Ruth.
Okay.
I mean, but I like this is an A. Baby Ruth is an A for me.
I can throw this in A. It seems like everyone's kind of on board with that.
Yeah.
All right, so jumping back, just a quick step away from the Chewies, into the chocolates, back to the Chewies, Twizzlers. We all agreed that black licorice is disgusting and is F tier forever,
Ooh,
but Twizzlers
correct.
are not black licorice, and they're good. They're not great.
Correct.
I think Twizzlers are like as a casual snack, C, or a casual candy. As like a movie candy, they're a B. Pull-in peels are an A. But Halloween Twizzlers, like the little ones, there's something different about them. I think they're a B, like a solid B tier. It's just enough chewy to sate my need to eat candy. They're sweet enough without being like overwhelming. I think they hit a lot of good marks without being great.
Yeah, I don't disagree with a lot of that. The only thing I would add, because I'm gonna put it in C. The only thing I would add is that they kind of do that similar thing with Swedish Fish with that red with the flavoring with the red dye. I know they're
Yeah,
supposed to be like cherry and strawberry flavor or
they have a
whatever,
little bit of a
Mhm.
red flavor. I can agree with that.
but I mean, as a snack, they're fine. I didn't look. I said on my stream they're like if you're gonna go for candy, they're a little bit of a healthier option if you're going to go like actual candy, but I can't confirm or deny that. Basically, just going to mirror everything what you said, just to save time. So
Slacky thoughts, feelings, opinions.
They are a C minus, possibly a D plus.
I'll put them in
I
C.
don't like. I don't really like Twizzlers. They're okay. They don't really have a flavor. It's kind of a nothing flavor.
It's just red. It's red chewy.
It's
red.
That's it.
Yeah.
yeah, but which if you're Kool-Aid, you can get away with that. But if you're a candy, I don't know.
That's fair.
So I just I feel like Twizzlers are they're very mid. This is a very mid candy that
Yeah.
is forced upon you in the little tiny packages where you get like it's like what two of them that are stuck together. I
Yeah.
think like anything bigger than that, I don't need. I don't need a huge thing of Twizzlers.
Fair.
Nah, I think they're a C.
But anyway, instead of chewy, nerds. Not the people, but the little tiny candy. Nerds are fun to eat for the same reason that mini M&Ms are fun to eat, because you can just like shoot them back and you're just like, whoa, that's a ton of sugar directly into my bloodstream. Like you just, but they don't really taste like anything. Sometimes they hurt your teeth because if they land in a weird way, you bite one that's got like weird polygons.
Yeah.
I think
You feel it down your jaw.
yeah, I think nerds are D. Like as fun as fond of them as I am, I think generally speaking, they're like a D tier candy. It's just crunchy sugar.
This is one of those. This is another like kind of a tier list 2-day regret I have because I put them in A.
Interesting.
It's hard for me because like thinking from a kid aspect.
Hmm.
I loved nerds when I was a kid. Another Blizzard that going back to Blizzards again. Nerds Blizzards were one of my like go-tos as a kid.
Interesting
But
combo.
Pants, when I heard what you said with the in regards to like the crunchy like oh no feeling, that does give me like it was a towards the end of stream decision, so like my brain was kind of fried at that point.
Sure.
I think I would still be just because of like how much I loved them as a kid because of like they came in the like the 2 flavors, and for some reason that each little tiny mini pack came in like 2 flavors, and that was always like special to me as a kid, and they tasted different enough to me anyway. I would still put them in like B tier. um I don't know. I think they still have a place among the candies. They're still fun. That's what I'll say about them. They're still fun, and through the lens of a kid on Halloween, I feel like they need to be in your bag. So we'll put B.
Okay.
I think what a lot of people don't like about nerds is the basic flavors of the strawberry, the grape, flavors of nerds can be a little underwhelming. For a while there, I was going to mention earlier, for a while there, they had a flavor that was like a cherry coated lemonade flavor, which it was kind of like
I remember those.
a lemon nerd with like, but it had like a little cherry kind of coating on it,
Yeah.
and it was really good. Those were really good.
Those sound kind of nice actually. Now that I'm thinking
Lemonade
about
was
that.
good.
I think I like nerds. I think they're a B for me.
I'll put nerds in B. But just know that it's another one that like it's being carried solely on nostalgia.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But moving forward, another like nostalgia ride coming in hot. Lollipops in general, like Dum Dums, Tootsie Pops, Blow Pops. I'm gonna put them in. I'm gonna put them in like D because I can't put them in F, but I want to. They're boring. They take too much time. You look like an idiot, especially as an adult. An adult eating a lollipop is like, what are you doing? Grow up. Just bite it off the stick and turn it into hard candy. I think lollipops are kind of trash. Like if I wanted hard candy, I'd just get hard candy.
I don't agree as a whole. To me, a Tootsie Roll Pop is very different from a Charms Blow Pop. A Charms Blow Pop, I would be more inclined to agree with that. And even like with Dum Dums, they're like the good flavors are good, but the bad flavors are just like it's like I got this hard root beer candy, but like a blue raspberry Dum Dum. Those are tart. I like those. I remember putting on my list. I put Tootsie Roll Pops high because I love cherry Tootsie Pops. I probably am one of the few people that does. So if we're doing like lollipops as a whole,
it definitely makes it a little difficult. You're right that they're like pretty different.
yeah.
But balance them across the line.
Let's make an attempt here. Yeah, I'll have to put them at C just because like Tootsie Roll can't carry everything. So Tootsie Roll Pop anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a C. Dum Dums are kind of mid. I think Tootsie Roll Pops probably carries this category. Blow Pops are just very mid. The gum.
Blow Pops are trash.
You
the
end up
worst candy.
spitting the gum out anyway. You know, I'd rather have a Tootsie Roll Pop and then just be like, okay, I'm done. I hit the Tootsie Center and we're good. You know, I don't have to deal with anything else and find a place to put my gum or spit it on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? Like a terrible person.
There's no point to the gum.
So C?
Yeah, C across the board when it comes to.
So now I'm gonna skip a line for those of you with a list. And Tootsie Rolls. Regular Tootsie Rolls. If you want to consider them flavored ones as well, that's fine. But like,
yeah,
I think you make a good point that Tootsie Rolls pretty good. Maybe it's an old person candy though, but like, I can get down with Tootsie Rolls. I think they're good.
The only time you ever see the flavored version of Tootsie Rolls is during Halloween,
Yeah.
honestly. And Tootsie Rolls, I really is kind of more of a Halloween type candy anyway. It's the only time I see them. They're a C for me. They're very mid because it's like, are you trying to be chocolate, but you're not really chocolate? Is it a chocolate flavoring thing? Like what kind of like
Yeah.
what's going on in that particular scenario? So I would say that the smaller, the real small Tootsie Rolls are probably better in that particular packaging. I think the bigger
Yeah.
you get, the worse off it is
Sure.
as a Tootsie Roll for me. I would put it as a solid C.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with a lot of what Slacky said. I will say that like Tootsie Rolls, a lot of people really hate on Tootsie. A lot of people I know really hate on Tootsie Rolls. I think probably because they're more of an old people candy at this point. I do think that the hate is a little overblown. The hate that I'm surrounded by, anyway.
Yeah.
Not sure about y'all, but I would comfortably put them in mid.
Yeah. I think C is a good spot. All right, so moving on, we've gone back to the fruit and hard candy things, going over Jolly Ranchers. So, two things about Jolly Ranchers: if you like the flat, wide, like plank of Jolly Rancher better than the regular like roll of Jolly Rancher, you're just wrong. There's nothing good about a 2-inch by 1-inch flat piece of hard candy. It's just a mouth guard of sugar. That's not good. The little barrel shape, fantastic. The blue ones are great. The purple ones are great. The green ones are great. The watermelon one's great. Cherry exists. I like Jolly Ranchers.
Cherry exists.
I think Jolly Ranchers generally somewhere in like A-B range. I think they're good. They're a good hard candy for not adults. Like I don't like it's no Werther's original.
Wow.
That's an actual old person
That's like
certified candy.
That's old person.
Yeah, it's not like a sugar-free fruit candy. Not lifesavers.
I think
Jolly Ranchers just a little brick of sugar with some fruit flavor.
Yeah, I think Jolly Ranchers have done a good job of standing the test of time.
Yep.
Like without any kind of marketing whatsoever, just kind of surviving based on, I guess, word of mouth. I don't know.
Just being good. Just being a good candy.
Kiddo loves Jolly Ranchers. Anytime he sees the big bag of like the normal size in the gas station, he usually tries to buy it and then eats like every single one of them in like the span of 2 hours.
Yeah.
Cherry is good, Pants.
I didn't say it wasn't good.
Cherry is good.
I just said it exists. That's all.
True. Watermelon is good. Green apple, not my favorite, but shout out to all the people who love the green apple Jolly Ranchers.
That's fair.
So
B for me, B from you.
B for Jolly Rancher.
What do you think?
This was like my first one that I did on stream, and it made a lot of people mad.
Oh, how low did you put it?
Listen, I put it in the mid tier.
Okay.
I put it in the high mid tier though. A lot of people got mad at me for that.
Can we be comfortable with a B?
Yeah, I could live with a B. Absolutely.
Yeah.
To go the other way, a candy that is still around somehow, Pez. Pez is so shit.
Oh, man.
So
collecting.
It's so bad. It's like, hey, do you want to eat this bar of soap shaped Necco wafer? Like, they're just disgusting.
What did Necco wafers do to you?
Necco wafers are disgusting. Also,
Necco wafers, man.
Necco wafers.
I agree.
Necco wafers F. Pez F.
It's chalk and sugar.
Pez is trash.
I hate Necco wafers.
Pez is an F candy. Necco wafers are not even candy. Necco wafers are Tums that they forgot to put active ingredients in.
I will say this. We have, like, for a while there, the kiddo went through a Pez phase, and it's only because he was collecting the holders.
Star Wars ones?
He has a Boba Fett one. I've got one somewhere. I don't remember exactly what it is. This is why Pez is so forgettable. Pants is right. The candy is garbage.
Yeah,
it's the only time I'll actually go out on a limb and say it's an F tier, maybe. It's just if it's not an F, it's definitely a D. It's bad. The candy is bad.
Yeah, King,
And,
unless Pez saved your life, you're gonna have a hard time arguing Pez out of F.
I don't feel comfortable putting it in F. I gotta say, I don't feel comfortable with it. I of the chalk texture candies, even discounting like Smarties, it's not saying much, but I think they're kind of a better version of Smarties.
No, that's not right.
I think they are. I think they are.
Pez is the only candy that can taste stale, brand new. Like a brand new bar of soap shaped Pez block tastes like dust and musty and disgusting.
I don't agree. They're tangy, and I think that's like one of the things, because I remember liking the pink ones the most, because they're like a raspberry flavor. And I love raspberry flavored things. Honestly, Pez for me is a C tier because
You're
it's also
high.
like fun with the
You're
little.
high. Get out of here. All right. So
with
D
the
is the highest that I will let Pez go.
I think D is probably it.
Pez are disgusting. Pez should be in prison. The creator of Pez is a criminal. They're so gross. It's such a disgusting, horrible.
It's only because the holders are collectible.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why it
literally
still exists.
like if Beanie Babies came with like it just came with, I don't know, a gumball, people would be like, wow, this is the best gumball ever. If people had to eat black licorice to buy a Beanie Baby, black licorice would be so popular.
True.
But I can eat a Pez. I can't eat black licorice.
Yeah, but if
that's
you
like the difference.
But if you had to eat black licorice to get a Beanie Baby, and it was 1998, you would eat so much black licorice. Anyway.
No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. I would sacrifice my potential Beanie Baby empire to not eat black licorice. I agree.
Pants.
Yes, sir.
This is just out of my general curiosity. Pez or black licorice?
Yeah,
if you had to choose one. If you had to choose one,
I'd eat Pez because I can swallow them whole and not taste them.
Like pills,
like a pill.
Yeah, because it's a chore. It's a chore to be eaten. Pez are desaturated Flintstones chewable vitamins.
I was gonna say Pez are like the Flintstone vitamins without the vitamins.
Yeah, they're bad. Vitamins. They're throwaways.
In fact, give me the Flintstone vitamins.
I'd rather,
I think they taste better than
give
Pez.
me the Pez dispenser with a chewable vitamin in it. I'd rather have that.
The chewable ones, yeah. I should reiterate the chewable ones.
But I want to move on to the next three candies are bangers, back to back to back. So our back to back to back bangers start with the 100 grand bar. If I remember correctly, Slacky.
Yes.
This was a big one for you.
This is an addition for me off of the original list that you sent that I didn't see immediately on there. This is an S tier for me. I love 100 grand bars. It is a Nestle Crunch bar with caramel inside, and it checks all the boxes for me. The texture, the chocolate, the caramel. 100 grand is an S tier candy bar in my opinion.
King, what are your thoughts and feelings?
No disagreement. It's in my top 3 favorite candy bars. I love it. My only complaint about it is that it comes in the 2 bits. I would love to see it in like a longer bar. That's the only complaint. That's the only complaint I have.
You get the king size with the 3 bits.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
I would just like to see it as one long boy.
Do you think
honestly?
Do you think one long boy would throw off the balance of chocolate and rice to caramel?
I don't think so. And it's curious that King brings this up as a good point. It's curious why they chose to go with 2 different sections of candy bar instead of one long one.
I think it's probably just for production value, because it's easier to just make a bunch of small ones, because then share size, like a king size, is just 3 small ones. A standard is 2 small ones. A snack size is 1 small one. Instead of having to manufacture 3 different sizes, just 1.
Yeah. Because if I see the fun size in the kiddos Halloween bucket, it's mine. It's immediately mine. And it's getting eaten right then and there, like every time.
Yeah, I believe that. So Slacky, I have really good news for you.
Mhm.
This is our third S tier.
Let's go.
100 gram bar, infallible. Really, it has
Yeah.
good texture. It does what Three Musketeers can't do, where the inside of it's just chewy, nothing. But the fact that it's just comprised of puffed rice, which is chewy, hits.
Crunch. It does what a Nestle Crunch can't do.
True.
The 100
yeah.
gram bar does what a lot of candies can't do.
Yep.
And the same thing, like moving forward. So that's an S. The next in the bangers list is the Reese's Nutrageous. And I had to tell you guys, like I had to just remind you guys what this was. But this is basically like if you were to take a payday,
Mm.
fill it with peanut butter, and then cover it in chocolate. This is pretty much it. Like if you just swapped out the caramel core of a payday with peanut butter and then covered it in chocolate, it goes crazy. So for me, this is like an A. I don't think this could go lower than a B really, but it's just peanut butter, chocolate.
I think this needs to be between you and Slacky because I've actually never had Nutrageous, so I think it's got to be between you two, just to be fair.
Look, if nobody's ever had it,
This might get carried solely. This might just get carried by you, Pants. I don't think I've ever had it
Ah.
either. But looking at it, the first thing that comes to my mind is that's a lot of peanut. A lot of peanut butter. It's a lot of peanuts.
yeah,
I would probably put this at no higher than a B on my tier
okay.
because I'm not a huge fan of peanut butter and chocolate the way other people are. And I'd be like, okay, I would try it, but I don't think I would ever really kind of go back to it
Okay.
a whole lot.
So I will concede a B solely because our next applicant is the Reese's Take 5, which is just a better this.
Now, as I recall, the novelty on this is it has a pretzel inside.
Yeah, so the Take 5 is basically a pretzel covered with some peanut butter, covered with some caramel, covered with some peanuts, and rubbed in chocolate. So you have a pretzel crunch, you have the peanut crunch, you have the smoothness of the peanut butter, and you have the chewy of caramel. It hits every box under the sun. It also has a little bit of salty in it from the pretzel. This is a top tier, absolute grand slam chocolate candy.
This is like the hot Cheeto incident where
Yep.
somebody,
It's exactly that.
a janitor at Hershey's was like, "Hey, put a pretzel in there."
Yeah,
And they're like,
it's literally that. It's exactly that.
He's crazy, but let's try it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is I mean, I guess a B. Sure. I don't know. I mean, I've never had one before.
Wow. Okay,
Sure,
so
let's give it a B.
You ever had one?
you've never had.
No.
So Slacky,
No, I've never had one.
put this on your list the next time
I'll put it on the
next time
list.
you guys go out. I think I'm
I'm
gonna
take
put this.
5.
I'm gonna put this in A, just to kind of balance for your B, my S. King, where do you think it should go?
Hey, I like Take 5.
All right.
Not much I can add to that. It's got the salty sweet thing
got-
in it. So kind of solely for that.
I think it hits every mark. Like it doesn't have fruity to it, but I don't think fruity mixes with any of those things well.
Nah.
But Slacky, I think going with a B is reasonable for never having had one.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
the second you eat one, you'll know why it's an A.
Okay, I will acquiesce to you guys. If you guys want to put it in A, I'm not going to stop you just because I've never had one.
I think that's fair.
I'm comfy with an A.
Now that our back-to-back bangers have been placed, we're down to the last three. And the first of the last three, these are by no means the least good. They were just the last three that we thought of. Riding into that, we have Dots. Dots got King in some trouble recently, with me specifically.
Yep.
So go ahead, King. Go ahead and tell us why you hate Dots so much.
Oh, I hate dots because they bunch up around your teeth and they're like a version of gumdrops that just like stick to your mouth and like they glue your mouth shut.
Yeah.
So that complaint earlier I said about Skittles for some people not having enough variance in the flavor, that's how I feel about dots. It's too subtle. It's way too subtle.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable putting them in trash because I can still eat them barely, but they will pull your fillings out. They will wreak all sorts of havoc on you. And they're always like there's one of those candies. They're one of those candies where if you go to like a grandparent or an older relative's house,
Hmm.
that's what they have lying around.
Yeah.
I can't eat too many of them because I already have damaged teeth. I don't need to damage them anymore.
That's
So
fair.
yeah,
I think dots they're fun to eat. I kind of treat them the same as most of those like small boxed candies where it's just like I'm just gonna knock back the whole box and however many fall into my mouth is what I will suffer through. Be it 4, 8, 100, who knows?
what's your favorite Dots flavor? Do you have one?
No. My favorite dots flavor is whatever gets them consumed the fastest. I'm not picky. Dots are okay.
Yep.
Gumdrops better, but a little too big for my taste. Slacky, where do you sit on the dots debate?
D. Dots are trash.
I think D is fair.
Everything that King said, sticking to your teeth, the
Yep.
gluing your mouth shut, the pulling all your fillings out. The dots. Every time I see them, I'm like, ooh. And it's always during Halloween. They trick me every
Yep.
time. Ooh, dots. Haven't had these in a while. And then after like 30 minutes of actually finishing a box of 3, it's like, yeah, I know.
Like,
why
oh
I
God,
hate
why
these
did I
now.
do that?
These,
Yeah.
these are
I don't
bad.
even know.
Dots are D tier.
I don't
I
even know
agree.
why that got me in trouble.
I don't know. I don't know why people
Um,
were so I think it was the dots are a choking hazard thing and dots are like boring. I think people were a little upset about that. I was more upset at the dots are a choking hazard. It's like, nah, just drink the dots. Drink the whole box and call it a day.
drink it. But like, yeah, I was gonna say, like, also, I don't ever hear kids like saying, "Oh, yay, dots!" I've never heard like kids get
No.
ecstatic
Nobody's
about
ever
them
been
either.
excited for dots. But I think D is fair. They're not bad enough to be an F tier, but they're not good enough to be above D tier.
Yeah, fair.
Now we have a distant cousin of the dots, Milk Duds, which are basically the exact same thing as dots, except they're just chocolate and caramel instead of just goo. I think Milk Duds are not that great, but they're better. They're like a low C for me. Like I like that they're chewy. I dislike the fact that they'll pull the DNA out of your body. They're so sticky and like caught up in your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But they have a good flavor to them. Eating like 1 or 2, which Slacky had mentioned. I don't know if this was while we were recording or not, but the little boxes that you see around Halloween, those boxes can have anywhere between 2 and 5. And
True.
sometimes you open a box, it's like, wowie, 2 Milk Duds. What a
I've
friggin'
never gotten more
ripoff.
than 3. I've never gotten more than 3.
I think
Yeah.
four might be the actual like golden goose to get 4 in there.
Huh.
Yeah, they're I think C
Never.
is where I would be comfortable putting Milk Duds. No higher than C, maybe even D, because they're like they have a better flavor than dots at least, but the texture's still there.
For me, Milk Duds are a B tier,
A beat?
only because they're my go-to movie theater snack,
Yeah.
and I usually wait like usually wait like 30 minutes, 45 minutes into a movie before I actually eat them, because you can't eat Milk Duds like right out of the box. You kind of got to open the box and let them
You
breathe a
have
little
to
bit.
aerate the Milk Duds.
Yeah,
You kind of need to let it melt a little bit, because you're right. If you go right at the Milk Duds right out of the box, which is usually the problem with the Halloween version, because they've been sitting in that box for who knows how long, probably from
Yeah.
like 3 Halloweens ago,
Yeah.
and they're stale and they're hard,
Ale.
Mhm.
and you kind of gotta pause, suck on them a little bit before you really
Why
chew
did you
'em.
pause for that? You should have just said it. It would have been fine.
No. Yeah, no, not with you two clowns.
That was
It
so
would not
much
be fun.
worse.
So I did a B tier for me on the Milk Duds.
Okay.
Okay.
King, where are you? What's your ranking? So I'm at like D, C, like C minus.
I'm at, Milk Duds were one of my favorites as a kid. Not, whoa. Sorry, I take that back. They were not. But I did like them a lot.
Okay.
But as a movie theater snack, that was my go-to for a long time. But as I got older, again with the same problem with the dots, it was my teeth are not in the same shape as they were when I was 9 years old. I liked that they were a chewy candy.
Mhm.
But that's too much chew. I don't think they're bad, because what Slacky said, you gotta let them melt a little bit, and I
Right.
don't mind that. And you kind of come to expect that with chocolate candy, at least if you're eating it right. So C is where I put it. It's still an okay It's still an okay thing. I would place it up even with the same, even though they have the same problem as dots.
Mhm.
That one's easier to manage than dots are because there's like a way around it.
Yeah,
So
like you can let milk duds like be edible. Like dots are, if you don't eat them the second they touch the air, they're immediately stale.
yeah,
So I can
exactly.
so do I put them in B or C? Trying to think. So we have 2 C's, mine being very low. So Slacky, if you take out the fact that it's a movie theater candy and just think of it in terms of a Halloween candy.
See.
See? Okay.
No.
So we have one last iconic candy, and I'm sure everyone listening to this is like, "But what about this candy?" And if we forgot your favorite candy, just throw it in a comment down below, and we'll ignore it. But we'll answer it in the
Yeah.
comments. I wouldn't ignore it. That'd be rude.
Y'all will.
No,
I'll see it.
I make sure. Yeah, like if you have a problem with anything that King said, get over it.
Cope seed mauled.
King doesn't work here. So the final candy on the list, and I will be posting this list probably like a little bit after the episode goes out, so people can see it if they don't want to listen to the whole episode or whatever. The final candy corn, the biggest troublemaker in the entire Halloween era. We have candy corn, we have pumpkin shaped candy corn style things, we have the food wax that is just kind of candy corn apologist behavior. I don't even know. Gentlemen, what do you think, feel, and appreciate about candy corn?
All right. Literally right now, I've been like snacking on candy corn as we're speaking. I think that I'm not a fan of candy corn. That doesn't mean I won't like. I also don't have anything sweet in my apartment right now, so it's kind of like just filling a craving.
Sure.
I used to just completely despise candy corn.
Reasonably so.
And for the most part still do, but there are worse things. So like when I put it on my list, I put it on D tier, and I think that's where I would still put it, to be honest. I wonder though if it matters if it has to be the Brock's type and like, or just some like.
That's the only type I'm concerned with, because anything other than that is throw it away trash.
Yeah, a friend of mine pointed out to me that I didn't use Brock's, which is true. I used a store-bought kind, but I remember what Brock's tastes like. I don't notice a difference between what I'm eating now versus what Brock's is. And that's another reason why, like with candy corn, I don't feel like there's enough variance there to be able to say whether you get an off brand or a Brock's brand that's going to make any difference.
Sure.
It's still sugar, and it actually tastes kind of like cake icing, like like cake icing wax.
Yeah, like royal icing.
Yeah.
I believe that.
So
but I think D is fair.
Yeah, D is where I'll put it.
It's definitely not good. It's not bad. I'll eat a handful.
No.
Somewhere in October, I'll eat one handful of candy corn and go, "Yep, that was it for the year. That's all I need."
I don't like that as a pro either. Like a lot of people say that's what's good about it is it's got like a self limitation. But I feel like if you like something, you should have to fight the urge to eat more of it.
Yeah, it's definitely not. That's not a good thing for it. That is a detractor. That's something naturally is just no longer good after so few. Like I think the perfect application for candy corn is like on a cupcake, where you throw like 2 in there. It's like, oh, we made a little jack-o'-lantern cupcake and it's got two candy corns for eyes. It's like, okay, I'm cool with that.
Now if we're talking the pumpkins though, straight in the garbage.
Yeah, those are not good. It's too big a piece of candy.
Yeah. I don't know why they taste different, but they do, and in the garbage.
I don't know. Slacky, what do you think?
I never understood why candy corn got so much hate.
Oh,
I'd say about 3 or 4
brother.
years ago.
Oh, brother. Go on.
This is a millennial thing.
I'm calling your wife.
She would agree with me.
Why?
She would agree with me. Because it's a millennial thing, because first of all, they can't get houses these days. And so they got to hate on everything else in the world. And candy corn is one thing that has recently come into the crosshairs of millennials to be canceled. And I will not stand for this travesty
How many
I will
candy
not
corn can you eat
stand
before you
by
get sick?
5.
Yeah, how many?
Yeah,
I
shut
will
up.
I will not stand by and watch this beloved Halloween treat get
No.
canceled
It's not canceled. It's going in D.
because a bunch of goatee wearing idiots decided they didn't like it because they're mad at their dads and they don't know how to channel their anger, and so they want to cancel candy corn.
It sounds
We're
like
not
they
doing it.
they channeled their anger directly at candy corn and Nickelback. That sounds correct.
Yes,
Nickelback
candy
did
corn.
nothing wrong. Candy corn
No, of course not.
is only good up until you've had about 5.
Yes, and candy
And-
corn's a C tier.
No,
It's C tier. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
C tier.
agree.
I feel like people ironically like candy corn.
I think I think people who I'm gonna go on record. People who say they like candy corn, not like tolerate, like I'll eat a handful. I don't like candy corn. I'll eat a handful. People that are like, I love candy corn are just attention seekers. Nobody loves candy corn.
Mhm.
It's not good.
Yeah,
People got to stop lying to themselves.
but I
Also,
don't understand.
for the
I don't
record,
understand the hate. The
I
visceral
don't
hate that
I
it
don't
got.
think it's hate
yes,
as
it
much
is.
as I don't think so. I don't
It's
think people
true.
hate candy corn. I think it's just not good.
Like
No.
TikTok, like TikTok and Instagram and all the videos, like a few
Those are
years ago.
Zoomers, my guy.
They're like,
Yeah,
they're like, but like they wanted it canceled.
What's because
Like
it's
they wanted
disgusting.
it gone.
Slacky is candy corn's bravest warrior right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're white knighting
I am-
candy corn, and I
I am-
don't know why.
I'm Jon Snow against the White Walkers when it comes to candy corn.
Yeah, no, candy corn's not good. It's not as bad as some people make it out to be. I'll agree with that. I don't think candy corn belongs in C at all, with Milk Duds, Tootsie Rolls, all of the lollipops, Twizzlers, Swedish Fish, Hershey's chocolate, novelty gummies, and M&Ms. I think it's much more reasonable to have it with Three Musketeers and Whoppers. I think candy corn's not good. I think candy corn is an
yeah.
accessory candy. It's good on other stuff when you only have to have minimal exposure to it. Eating candy
go off,
corn
Pam.
is like being an introvert and
Pam.
having your extrovert friends force you out. Where like it's
Yeah.
fun for the first like half hour, and then you're immediately not having a good time. That's exactly what candy corn is. You go, ooh, this is nice.
Bingo.
This is some nice, sweet, condensed pressed sugar. And then you've had your fourth one, and you're like, wow, that fourth one tasted a little different. And you have your fifth one, and you go, okay, if I eat a sixth one, I'll throw up.
The only thing saving it from the trash tier is that pumpkins exist.
Yeah. The only reason that it's not an F is because there's a worse variant.
Yep.
I'm sorry to all you candy corn truthers out there.
Look, if you're a candy corn truther, if you're an avid candy corn truther, you probably rep flat Earth. That is my final statement on the matter. Candy corn goes in D.
Wrong.
I'm editing this. I'm in charge. I'm pulling rank. I have all the power. Slacky, also, you can pull rank at any point in time except here because I already did it.
I don't care.
But
Selectively full rank.
Slacky, keep in mind that your favorite candy made it to S tier. Take your dubs when you get them. Candy corn not getting a dub. The fact that candy corn didn't go in F is your dub. That's your silver lining.
That is true. That's a good point. We didn't put it in F tier. I didn't even put it in F tier.
I think candy corn deserves respect as the longest standing garbage candy that has not been taken off the roster. That is the conclusion of our tier list. Like I said, I'll post the tier list. We can discuss it further after the fact. I do want to discuss some non-candy treats with you gentlemen, and then I would like to go over how you guys feel about the open-boel policy and some trick-or-treat etiquette before we wrap up. So
absolutely,
some non-candy treats, popcorn balls, kind of weird. I'm not a big popcorn guy, so like for me, I'm a little biased, but like popcorn ball, pretty cool treat. Now I think they're a lot less common because I think giving out like homemade things is a lot less cool with people for a lot of reasons. But I think popcorn balls were pretty solid. Like if you got a popcorn ball, I was like even I as a popcorn hater, pretty down with because it's just
Oh,
a fun thing.
I didn't know you were a popcorn hater.
I'm not a fan. It's just not for me. It's
Okay.
tedious to eat, gets in your teeth, not satisfying. In similar form with popcorn balls, there are some families that don't give out candy, but they give out like bagged chips, like the little snack bags of chips.
Mm-hmm.
Always nice. I like those, or as a kid rather, I liked those because I could eat those like while I was trick or treating to get in some like get in a little bit of non-sugar carbs to keep going on my trick or treat journey. I mean, it's nice to kind of be like, okay, a little bit of salty snack goodness with your sweets. And then like the little like I don't know how prevalent these are now, but like wax lips, the wax juice bottles,
Ooh,
people who give out like little like spider rings, like little like throwaway
Yeah,
dollar store
the
toy
toys. Yeah,
things where it's like it's fun in the moment, be like, wow, I have 95 spider rings on. And it's like, yeah, well, I have candy. You make a good point.
sure.
Um,
I like for me, the so like the chips variety when it comes to that,
mhm.
uh, the cheese balls, the Cheetos little cheese balls. I don't
Yeah,
know if you're familiar with this. They have like that as a
mhm.
Halloween treat. Those are pretty
absolutely.
good. Popcorn balls, I don't think I've ever had one. I think the kiddo got some the other day and he liked it, I
Mhm.
guess. But I've never had it before. He loves popcorn though. He's a big fan of popcorn. And then the toys, the little toys, yeah, the spider rings, the plastic eyeballs. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah.
Those are kind of a thing. The vampire teeth, the
Mhm.
plastic vampire teeth. That was a thing a few years ago. I don't know if people are handing those out anymore because I don't think you want to be like putting something in your mouth that you're not really going to eat that's been not
Manhandled.
sanitized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think COVID kind of wiped those out, to be honest. Um,
Good. Yes.
yes.
King, what do you think about the array?
My brain kind of like wiped out half of what was said.
Oh, you're good. So we have
um,
like toys, like little toys and tchotchkes, the wax lips and things like that. Chips, little like bags of chips or like waffle pretzels, popcorn balls, things like that, like non-candy treats.
yeah, the popcorn balls lost their novelty over time. I will say, I was about to say when like vampire teeth and stuff were brought up, I'm just like, yeah, I remember when like half the stuff that was available for Halloween had like lead in it and weird
Mhm.
stuff in the plastic. That doesn't mean that all toys have lead in it or anything,
All toys
Yeah.
have
but
lead. You
the
heard it here.
Wow.
If you
but
have a
like
concern with the toys, just send them to me. I'll play with them. To close out our wonderful Halloween extravaganza, I want to discuss with you gentlemen some trick or treat etiquette and your opinions on the open bowl policy. The open bowl policy, of course, is for people who do not wish to be disturbed or people who will not be home. So they just simply put out a bowl of candy on their step with a sign that says, please take one or
Mhm.
leave some for everybody. Don't be a jerk, etc. What do you guys think about open bowl policy?
So open bill policy is pretty I wouldn't say rampant, but it's pretty popular,
Hmm.
mainly due to a couple of factors. One, in this for my particular scenario, Taylor's going to be out of town for Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving, Halloween, unfortunately.
Sure.
So she's going to miss out on trick or treating with the kiddo. Thanks work corp life.
Shout out to Corba Life.
So the kiddo and I are going to go on our own, and I haven't decided if I'm going to leave a bowl of candy on the porch because we're not going to be home because I'm going to be actively trick or treating with the kids. So that's scenario one where you leave the open bowl on the porch, and that's the reason why you would do it. Scenario two in my head is you're lazy,
Yep.
or you're crotchety, or you're introverted and you don't
Or
want
you
to
have
deal with
anxiety.
people,
Yeah, any of
or you
those
have
things.
anxiety. Right. So you leave the bowl of candy on the porch so you don't have to deal with people or see people or talk to people.
Mhm.
And I get that. There are people who are out there like that. They want to participate in Halloween. You don't want to be a jerk. You don't want to get your house egged or forked or whatever. So you just
Forked.
move you forked. Yeah, you take
All right,
you
hold on.
take
No, no.
plastic.
what?
You
I
never
need
you
What's
never
forked?
you never
no.
forked somebody's yard? All
No.
right. Blow your
What?
minds.
Can you
What's
say?
that?
Can
So
you,
I don't even know that term.
Yes,
This
this
isn't a
is
thing.
this. You go to the supermarket and you buy about 1,000 plastic forks, and you go into somebody's front yard. You stab them into their front yard.
How much time do you have?
I've never heard of this.
That's
Yes,
not a
this is a
thing.
thing. It's a thing. I've done it.
That's aerating someo's yard. That people
True.
pay for that.
Yeah, doing it on. Yeah, you're
Also,
helping them out.
where I
Isn't
live,
giving
like
Mhm.
we're pretty close to the water, so most people have stones. So good luck stabbing 1,000 plastic forks into rocks.
I also live in an area where there's a bunch of rocks everywhere. There's no grass, so it wouldn't necessarily work here.
Yeah,
But I've done it before.
I've never heard of that.
Take some silverware.
Shut up.
and just
Shut up.
be
That's
expensive about
actual
it.
lunacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, you don't want to get caught though.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I feel like it would be harder to do.
Yeah, like
It is.
like
It
egging.
is.
Quick, ride your
you
bike,
just
go
drop
rip
it off
past,
and then run.
yeet as many eggs as your little arms can throw, and move on. To
If you can pull off,
fork someone's
can-
yard is insanity.
if you can if you could pull it off, like a good forking of somebody's yard to get about 100 forks into their yard, it's really a sight to behold.
See, now that sounds like generic hijinks. Like to do that,
Yes.
to just randomly do that to somebody unprompted, hilarious. To do that
Yeah.
as a revenge
Yeah,
scheme is criminal.
Yes.
Yes.
You gotta be quick with it. It's almost the same as doing toilet papering somebody's tree.
I was gonna say,
or their
it's,
house.
it's less of a mess than toilet papering, but
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the economy ruined toilet papering. we
True.
can't afford to waste toilet paper. Also, just as a
True.
PSA, don't do crimes.
Yeah.
don't do crimes.
Well,
Don't vandalize.
This is petty misdemeanor at best.
Okay,
I mean,
do crimes to Slacky's house. Anyway, open
Use
bowl
silverware, in
policy.
fact. Use
Open bowl
silverware.
policy. We've strayed.
Yeah.
So open bowl, Slacky.
So for open bowl policy, I think basically you've got the two reasons of doing it. One, you're not going to be at home, but you still want to give candy out. Two, you don't want to deal with people. I think in order for me, the etiquette of the open bowl policy is 2 pieces, no more than 3. Don't be a jerk.
Yep.
Don't be the guy that just takes the whole bowl and dumps it into your bag. There's a reason why the bowl is there. Just take 2 pieces, 3 if you see something in there that's like, oh, they got the whatever, then you can grab an extra one if you want. But don't be a jerk. Save candy for the rest of the neighborhoods, please.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Part of me wants to go and pull out like, okay, take 2. Okay, I can take 2. I can be respectful. And instead of like taking 2 of the same thing, like, hey, maybe just take 2 things that you like and not just like empty the whole bowl out of Reese's first.
Yeah, I agree. I think cherry picking the good candy it is kind of a bad form. Although some people would probably
think about
argue, hey, I'm here and
Yeah.
everybody else is not, and I'm gonna take whatever I want. So
Yeah, I can
Oh.
I can understand the why, but also like, hey, you know what? Like maybe let everyone have fun. King, where do you fall on the open bowl versus handing out?
As like much of a socially anxious person I am, I've had experience like giving trick-or-treaters candy. I still prefer to tell the kids, open up your bag, and then
Mhm.
I'll put some in there. One of the reasons why though is so that I can ration out what I can afford.
Mm-hmm.
Even with that said, you guys kind of covered what I would say about open bowl. Don't be rude, don't cherry pick, don't overthink it. For me personally, I prefer to just hand out. I prefer the hand out candy. I still like to practice interacting with people in my neighborhood too. You do kind of lose that community aspect, I feel like, if you're just leaving a bowl out.
But I wholly understand people who like work until 5 or 6 p.m. and then don't have the social battery to then deal with like onslaught of children and
Right.
families and like terrible teenagers that are like, oh, we're gonna take all your candy or we're gonna stick 8,000 forks in your yard. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So I can understand why people would rather put out a bowl and just call it a day. But Slacky, you have a really good reason too. Like people who are taking their kids out trick-or-treating, or like single parents, like where they don't have another person to stay behind, or people that live by themselves even.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like
Yeah.
there's so many reasons to put out a bowl. I think this is going to be our episode's advice, be it bowl or handing out candy. The biggest part of Halloween, I think, is the social aspect of it. Like, it's a fun holiday for people to just enjoy themselves. I think Slacky said it. King, you also said it, and I'm going to parrot it. If you see a bowl of candy, don't be a piece of shit. Just take two. You've made it this far. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next month with our fat pants on and ready to take on Thanksgiving. This has been the Fatpants Podcast.